be there, be there. You've got a friend. When you're down and lonely, and you need a helping hand. Do 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 do. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you have to do is call, and I'll be there, be there. You got a friend. Good morning. Actually, I have shit to do this morning, so I don't know if I'll be able to stay super long. A couple hours maybe, though, should be okay. Yeah. Because that'll give me... I need about an hour and a half to finish up what I gotta finish up. Nice glasses, thanks. These are actually the eyeglasses I'm supposed to be wearing outside. The glasses you guys have been seeing me in are my computer glasses. They have no transition lenses, and they're not meant for, like, distance vision. So, yeah, I went and picked up my actual glasses yesterday. These are the things I'm supposed to wear 24/7, so. Forgot to take my garbage out last night. Oof. You mean like to the curb, so like you missed garbage day and you gotta wait a week? Oof. That's bad news bears, Brianna. That's bad news bears. I'm sorry to hear that that happened. Because that's, yeah. Got a stinky old trash can for a whole week. Thoughts on us landing on Mars within our lifetime? Probably not, honestly. I don't think there's any kind of real impetus right now for the companies to spend the billions of dollars that it would take to put somebody on Mars and then to maybe start a colony there. I mean, we're talking about like billions and billions of dollars of investment before it ever even tries to start paying off. You've got to build 100% of the infrastructure there, all vacuum sealed. You've got to develop technology that'll work on that planet and keep the operators sealed. You've got to develop a plan to create a base. I mean, it's just billions, billions, billions of dollars that need to be spent before a single dime can be made. Now, I do believe that assuming human beings don't nuke ourselves off the planet, that we will be making our way to Mars, but we're going to be on the moon first, guys. Like, I wouldn't even really start thinking about colonizing Mars until we've got like a permanent colony or two on the moon. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about it, but that conflict is coming. Who owns the moon? Who has the rights to put a base where on the moon? How close can the Chinese base be to the American base? If you were to take one culture and have them populate the next planet for humanity, what culture would you choose? That's tough, man. I do think culture is important, but I don't lionize one culture over the rest. So I can't answer that question, man. Like, culture is culture, humans are humans. I think the best people for the job should be selected despite what they believe. I really don't know. I hate to leave you hanging, but makes sense to use the moon as practice before moving on to Mars. I mean, the moon is not very good practice for Mars. It's like 1/16 the size of Mars or something like that. It's got, very little gravity. It's going to be a very different place. But being able to manufacture... See, what needs to happen, this is what people don't talk about, right? to get a base on the moon, people think like, oh, you fly a big rocket up there, you land it on the moon, you unload a bunch of crap, build a base. You need to build an orbital manufacturing facility. This is the next big step for human beings in like conquering the void, right? Is you will see an Earth orbit locked manufacturing facility built either by the United States or China, probably in the next 50 to 100 years. And that facility is going to be the basis for what is going to be like the next step, which is orbital manufacturing. One of the problems with getting people to the moon or to Mars is that they have to launch and escape Earth's gravity well. They have to go all the way from the ground through Earth's atmosphere, and that takes an immense amount of thrust, and it limits the amount of weight you can put up there. If you manufacture a spacefaring ship in space, you don't have to worry about it escaping Earth, ever. It's already in space. It's already kind of like out of the major gravity well of the Earth, and it's in orbit, right? That's the next step that I would look for if I were like interested in when is humanity going to be on Mars. Not until that is built. A dry dock, yeah, is probably what they'll end up calling it. It will be something that ships, transports, drones can interact with, refuel at, recharge at, without ever having to land on a planet. In fact, the things that are built in the orbital dry dock that I'm talking about will not ever touch a planet. They will exist entirely in space for the entirety of their existence. They will never touch a planet. The people on it will. The moon has no atmosphere, so we'll be more at risk of being hit with space junk. Yeah, there's all kinds of problems that have to be found out. You see the big craters on the moon? Like, a lot of those were made when the moon was younger, but the moon has nothing to deflect any kind. If something is heading for the moon, it's going to hit. The question is how do you protect the things that you got? Oh, let me get a pack of smokes for us, baby. I'm sorry, I just smoked the last one out here. I wonder how easy it will be to brute force evolution in a plant to seed it on Mars and make it take hold. Would literally be some form of second genesis if left alone. That's that. I mean, so I don't think you're going to need to do that. Maybe you might need to do some genetic manipulation of plants, but what needs to happen for Mars to accept plants is an atmosphere. So if there is a Mars colony, what you're going to see is greenhouses, large greenhouses that are built specifically to, and baby, you can scooch that around here so you're not baking. Because you're just going to be schweeting. So yeah, but the idea, I think, long-term for a permanent human settlement on Mars would be to establish to like geoengineer the planet to establish an atmosphere there. Ever read those transcripts from the Apollo missions where the astronauts freaked out over seeing artificial objects line up on the far side of the crater? Yes. I've read some crazy stuff. I mean, astronauts have said a lot of crazy stuff. They've got an overview of the world that we don't have. They can see the stars and things moving against the background of stars better than we could ever hope to. And pretty much every astronaut mission has produced some sort of UFO sighting or some sort of inexplicable geometry on some planet that they're orbiting or the moon that they're orbiting or whatever the fuck. Like, these details keep popping out that are inexplicable. I don't know that it means, you know, that there's aliens or whatever, but it's kind of crazy. What do you think about the Great Filter Theory? We talk about it here all the time. I think that the filter is likely nuclear technology, maybe AI, but it makes sense. It's one scientific possibility to explain the theoretical abundance of life and why we haven't seen it.
Or it could be that there's just some law of physics where you could never possibly travel fast enough to get any sort of life across the next source of life in the universe.
I mean, they've already pretty much said that trying to beat that barrier with a propulsive engine is not the way. It just can't be done. Yeah. At least not with our current technology. You would need some sort of proton drive, yeah. Something that's been not invented yet. Yeah. And even that would have to be insanely powerful. It would still exert such physical force when coming up to speed. Yeah. So you've got to circumvent all of that. Mm-hmm. I think what theoretical physicists and astrophysicists think is the truth of the universe is that we will eventually understand the quantum universe enough to travel without moving, to create something like a Stargate that taps into the fundamental background of the universe, allows us to pass through it, and on the other end come out without ever really moving. Mm-hmm. These wormholes and stuff are theorized by, I think that they were theorized first by Einstein, and then, you know, like they've undergone a lot of revision and stuff. But the idea of the existence of some sort of a quantum tunnel between places, or the ability to create a gravity well so large that you can fold space in on itself and move between 2 points. As a physicist, I don't think that. That's cool. Maybe you can like tell me what you do think then. As a physicist. I don't think we can get anywhere through linear travel. We have to go through a Stargate. Yeah. It's, you know, I would think that you would want to have like a primary drive to get you far enough out into empty space so you don't destroy the planet or anything else with your big, powerful gravity drive. And then you fold space. And you want to appear somewhere that's far enough from whatever your target is that you don't destroy it when you appear, right? Or destroy yourself by appearing into something. But the idea of being able to tear a hole in the fabric of the fourth dimension and move through it is, I think, our best bet at like a 40K expansion type of universe. You would destroy the Earth with a jump, which is why I said you would need some sort of practical drive to get you quite far away from the Earth before you ever tested this fucking thing, right? Really hope no time travel is never invented. Yeah, I mean, I think theoretically we can move forward in time, but not backward. Or is it the other way around? I can't remember if it's the other way around. What is the solution to the grandfather paradox that it creates? It may be impossible to physically send something back to the past, or it may be inadvisable. It may be possible to observe the past, from what I understand. But sending something through to the past is an entire different leap. Being able to monitor the past is a closer piece of technology, I think. Or the future, you know, however it works. They use starships to transfer, blah, 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 yeah. Observing the past directly in astral projection would be incredibly great and beautiful technology. Well, we're not far from a facsimile of that. So we may not be able to time travel, but we may be able to create a facsimile. You move back in time, you have to move back in space too, because the Earth a year ago is very far in space. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. So it's you have to keep in mind the relative position of the Earth and the Sun and where that is at the time you're going back. What if you created a time travel between, so it had to be the same relative Earth position, right? So you could only do it when the Earth is at the same relative position to the sun and moon as it was at that time. That would keep you from having to travel through space and time, right? If you use quantum entanglement to establish communication and take one device into the future, then you can talk to the past, theoretically. I mean, we haven't even developed a communication method based on quantum entanglement yet, so we'd have to get there first. But I'm going to stand on business and say that I was right at the beginning. I think that if you want to look for humanity reaching out into the stars, the first thing you're going to need to see is an orbital manufacturing station. I think that the first country that gets a functioning orbital manufacturing up and running is going to dominate the world for the next 2, 3, 4, 500 years, maybe forever. So nobody ever wants to talk about that because it's cool, but it's not like glamorous. The idea of just a factory in space, not very glamorous. It's way more glamorous to imagine a deadly mission and 20 people who will never come home and blah, 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 blah. But to be frank, we can't even really do that until we've got a dry dock in space, an orbital station. So we're talking about an orbital manufacturing plant, something that is in orbit like the International Space Station, but that handles heavy manufacturing so that you can create ships in space. I would also look for something like the space elevator to be made. This idea of having an anchor point to a large nano cable that is attached to the Earth and moves with it, so that you can run things up and down to a space station without needing to, you know, blow $10 million worth of jet fuel to do it. Moon would be more practical and cheaper. Yeah, well, that's why I think that all the people saying, when are we going to be on Mars, man, are ignoring where we're going next. We're going to be looking at setting up an orbital manufacturing base and a semi-permanent base on the moon. Those two things have to happen before anybody goes to fucking Mars. Some sort of orbital dry dock manufacturing place for ships and a semi-permanent base on or in the moon. I think something akin to the Lunar Gateway project would be a feasible approximation of that. I haven't heard it. Doesn't the moon have nasty material on it? It is covered with very fine dust. And then it is made, to my understanding, of the same kind of base elements as the Earth, with just less like precious metals and stuff, because it's like a part of the molten Earth or whatever that blobbed off. What makes you the most angry? Willful ignorance. I don't mind when people don't know something, but when people decide they won't know something in order to make a point, that pisses me off, probably more than anything in the world. And any kind of conversation you have about politics or religion or philosophy is going to be dotted with those types of people. They're time wasters and sophists. Filled with sound and fury, signifying nothing. We don't just need a factory in space, we need mines in space. Well, you can't have any of that without the factory. We need a factory in space so that we can create things that can make mines in space, that can mine asteroids in space, that can refuel other ships in space. You get zero of any of that until you get an orbital manufacturing plant up, operational and stable. Once you've got that, the keys to the fucking moon and a base on it, or whatever nation does it, The keys are theirs. And just extrapolating down the line, the keys to domination of any future colony on Mars. How would you get the resources to the surface of Earth? So you use the technology that we use now to mine the resources down here on Earth. You move the raw materials, probably, like I said, via a space elevator, to the manufactory. And then you create these things in an arena where you don't have to worry about gravity, right? You can create ships that are 10 times the size of the ships that we use now because you don't have to use thrust to get them out of orbit, right? Or out of the gravity of Earth's atmosphere. You don't have to push them through all that gas and all of that gravity because they're just born in space. If you don't have a manufactory, you can't have oil rigs and mining tool bases and all that. See, one manufactory manufactures another, right? So the next one, all you need is one. That's the great thing about an orbital manufacturing base. Once you've done the hundreds or maybe thousands of trips back and forth to take the initial load of supplies up there to build it, you have it constructed, you can construct another one with it. You've done the hard part. If you don't have an atmospheric bubble to deal with, you can build a lot more, and chances are you can make it more durable and larger. You don't have to worry about weight. That's one of the limiting factors to us creating some big-ass starship to take a bunch of people somewhere, right? Yeah, we need drive technology, we need anti-gravity technology. There's a lot of things that we need to, like, start working on. But the thing that we need to start really genuinely working on that is an orbital manufacturing base. If you mine the resources in the exactly, if you set up an asteroid base, so you set up a manufacturing base, you use that to build a mining outpost close to the fucking asteroid belt. That mining outpost has a little manufactory on it that creates drones whose job it is to seek out iron asteroids, golds, platinum, lithium, all of this stuff, right? And mine it without ever having to touch the earth to get anything from it, and create more things from those raw materials. You mine silica, you mine copper, you mine all of the things that you would need to create another big electronic base, and then you don't have to rely on... Hello, King Salute. A salute to you too there, sir. Who's in line to get there first? It's China and America and everyone else right now. Russia's in the run, and so is India. But if you want my call on it, it is China or America that is going to establish this, or at the very least start working on it first. You could start off with smaller mining ships to mine the stuff, but you need the factory to build the factory. You understand? If you could say, so let's say we launch like 10 small mining ships, right? They would still have to get that material back to a manufacturing plant on Earth to build the factory. You know what I mean? You need the factory before you can build another factory. Once you have one, you've got a stair step to the stars. You can build anything else in orbit that you want. You can move to the orbit of the moon and build anything there that you want. And eventually you can move to the orbit of Mars and get a living platform built in orbit of Mars so that human beings can travel back and forth to it and do the work that's going to be taken to get human beings down on Mars, right? If you don't have the orbital base, you don't have anything. And it's not sexy and it's not fun to think about a big factory floating up there in space. I mean, it is kind of cool to me, but it's definitely not as sexy as like, ooh, they're coming up with a new drive. Ooh, they're going to do a solar sail. Ooh, Elon Musk says we'll be on the moon, blah, whatever. It's way more useful and fruitful than either of those things. Thank you, baby. I did my meds already. I'm so
Oh, you
sorry.
did?
I should have just fucking told you.
This is your cold coffee, though. I just put it in a
Oh,
mug.
thank you. Thank you so much, baby doll. Paul, always streaming when I'm going to finish a DFF episode. At this point, I'm never going to finish it. Space Race. Yeah, I mean, this type of stuff, I'm not a fucking big brain, dude. A lot of this stuff is just from reading. Just stuff I've picked up, tidbits I've picked up from greater minds everywhere else. But when you talk to the people that are working on the problem of how do we get to another planet, how do we get a base there, this is what they all say. Orbital base. Earth, in low Earth orbit, you have a manufacturing base in stable orbit around the Earth so that you can fucking make things in space. Once you've got that, it's like a key. You can make more bases. You can move out. You can start spreading out. But if you don't have that centralized base, you got nothing. Does it ever bother you that even if we manage to start conquering space before we burn this planet down, it won't be in our lifetime? Not something we'll get to see. Dude, fucking I think about that all the time, man. Too young to go to a Jimi Hendrix Experience concert. Too old to explore the stars. Nah. I've got to tell you guys, one thing I have is it's not brand new, but it is new to me as an older person. I know what and who I am now, man. Like, the truth of my mortality has been accepted and dealt with. So for me, I don't really like cry about the idea of not being able to go like see this cool stuff that may be coming. I got to see a lot of cool stuff, man. You guys have heard my stories up, down, left, right, and sideways. I mean, I've seen some crazy shit happen. I existed before some crazy shit that you guys take for granted existed. I've seen a lot of shit, man. I don't even know if I've accepted mine. That's part of my journey, man. Part of getting older and part of learning about myself and working on myself was to stop worrying about things I got no fucking control over, bro. I don't have control of when my parents humped and made me. I can't go back and change it. I don't have control over all the bad decisions that I made in my past that might have limited my lifespan. I can't really change those things. I can work on them now, and that's what I do. See, part of my problem was learning to live in the moment. And I don't live entirely in the moment now, but I live way closer to that than I ever have in my life. Let go or be dragged. Yeah, I mean, seriously. I'm more interested in deep sea exploration. I love that too, man. If we can come up with better tech for that, yeah, I mean, we could colonize the oceans. See, a lot of people look up when they see the salvation of humanity. It might be down. It might be down at the very bottom of our liquid oceans that we find salvation. I mean, it's a completely unexploited part of the planet. The oceans cover, what was it, like 78% of the planet or some shit like that? It's like 78% of our planet is completely unexploited. All of the resources, all of the oil, all of the gold and platinum and uranium and all that shit that exists in mountains exists down there at the bottom of the ocean too. There are mountains at the bottom of the ocean. If we could create technology that allows us to exploit 75% of the planet that's never been able to be touched, we don't need to go to the stars for another 2,000 or 3,000 years, probably. You know? That's a total possibility. It's a good point. I did not hear about the new discovery in the Marianas Trench. At the end, there's nothing that can save you. Mariana Cross. Don't hit it so hard, Paul. Everything hits hard to me, man. My lungs ain't what they used to be, bro. I used to be one of those fucking stand on business, take pride in hardly ever coughing on a fucking joint. Bro, I just do, man. Especially in this fucking valley I live in. Dude, my lungs are horrible. I smoke cigarettes and weed. I live in one of the nastiest, dirtiest air quality places in the United States. Yeah, I smoke nothing but gas. I don't smoke swag. I don't smoke shit. I smoke gas only. We're talking like 23 and up, or don't even hand it to me. Paul's coughing on him. It is. It is a lot of stupid decisions in my life, including staying in this area for as long as I have. But yeah, you know, Mariana Cross. Hello from Pakistan. Hello, Pakistan. I'm in California. It's nice to meet you. Great beard. Thank you. I've seen some pretty great Pakistani beards as well. So, how are things in your country? How are things going there? A lot of tension with India, or are things kind of cooled down right now? You know, I know a lot of geopolitics is going on in your region, but nobody really pays attention. No, India and Pakistan is one of the flashpoints on the world, right? Dude, I would love to talk to somebody from Pakistan or India, because I got a couple questions and they're just impertinent American questions, not meant to be annoying or impertinent or whatever, but like, Pakistan, not so great. You were right about the geopolitics. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. I really am, man. I wish there was something I could do to help everybody, you know. I've seen like the ritual that India and Pakistan do against one another. It's a very like performative thing where they open these gates at the border and they do a very like aggressive military kind of like march at one another before they close down the gates. It's like, you know, I feel like it's just waiting for something horrible to happen there. And I don't think the people of those places really want that. Like, my sense is that the Indian and Pakistani people don't want to die. They don't want to go to war with one another. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. Yes, the border at the Wagah border. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you... It scares me when I see that, because you're talking about two nuclear nations, you know. You're right. I have a few Indian friends and wish I could meet them. I'm sure you do. It's like the people of these regions are never the ones driving this fucking conflict. It's always the leaders. It's always the followers.
I'm just trying to make it easier for you.
Oh, thank you, baby doll. I'll put these over here. So, the food is great, though. Try Pakistani food in California. If I can find some. The area I live in isn't really known for a super broad international fare kind of thing. We have a lot of Asian food and a whole lot of Mexican, Central, and South American food, but not any Pakistani food that I know of. But if I can find some, man, I'll get it. I believe you on that. I believe you that the food is dank, because I have had Indian food. I imagine that there is some cultural crossover there, and Indian food is amazing. So I would bet that Pakistani food is similarly amazing. There's no way Fresno ain't got no Pakistani food. Hey, you got Google. If you can find me one, Phoebes, I'll DoorDash and order to it, or I'll take Amelia out there for lunch one of these days or something. I'll try it. I'm hoping that Pakistani fare is filled with like vegan or vegetarian options like Indian fare is, because I don't eat meat. So
And there's Armenian, Punjab.
Punjabi, I've seen Punjab places before. I've seen Armenian food. I've
It's
seen.
called Pepper House. It's supposed to be Pakistani.
Oh, really? Pepper House?
Yeah.
What is it about? Like where? Hold on. Yeah, that sounds good. I didn't know, man. Pepper House. 4 out of 5 stars. It's a fast food restaurant. Looks like it's got sit down on the inside. It says it's Pakistani food. I don't know how authentic it would be in the middle of Fresno. Got a good heart. Thanks for speaking to me. Thanks for speaking to me. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Biryani, dal.
Biryani.
Masala, yeah. Masala.
Biryani is meat. It's like goat
Biryani. It's like a rice dish, and it can be made with different kinds of
meat.
Meat, yeah.
Yep. Aren't Punjabi Pakistani? I don't think so. I think Punjabi are, maybe they are. See, that area of the world is like a big blank spot in my knowledge, to be honest with you. That's why I was so excited to talk to that man from Pakistan, especially so, and not to undercut the others, but because he had such a good command of English. We were able to understand each other, and that's often a problem. You can get veggie biryani at some spots. Yeah, I know there's some stuff, man. I just have to find what the good veggie stuff is from Pakistan before I went and ordered there. Pakistan was part of India, as was Bangladesh. I do know that. Punjab region is located in both India. Oh, I see. So they're kind of like a state that blends both cultures, kind of. Are they a protectorate or are they a sovereign nation?
I think it's just an ethnicity that crosses both.
I think Punjab is an ethnicity and a place.
A region, yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard Tunak Tune?
So if you went to the Punjab one, it would have they have like a little veg combo. You can get a different curries.
Ooh. Ooh. I would love one day to travel in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I think that culture is super duper like accepting, from what I've heard, of foreigners. They love sharing their culture. It's why in the early 2000s, Madonna did a song called Ray of Light, and she wore a bindi. And college leftists and SJWs and feminists all flipped out about cultural appropriation and shit. It was one of the first big cancels.
Yeah.
And so I remember I looked into it. I was like, what is the bindi? And like, I just wanted to know culturally, like how Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Punjabi people feel about the bindi. And they will put them on you if you visit their country. One of the things that they will do is offer you henna, offer you a bindi, offer you a sari. These are all cultural garbs and cultural decorations that they use. They love to share their culture. And this is what I hate. I don't mean to get all...
Isn't Japan kind of somewhere like they don't really care if white people wear kimonos?
They don't give a fuck. They want you to. See, but this is my contention. And this is part of the kind of like SJW/social justice movement that I don't like, is the gatekeeping of culture that happens when Western leftists decide who is offended by what in what country. Because you almost never find it.
Or like making up the term Latinx that no one that was Hispanic really wanted.
Yeah. There was a dude that made a short. He's probably a right-winger, but the point stands. He went to like some sort of Mexican parade in America. As a white guy, he dressed in a big sombrero, put a fake mustache on, and a poncho, and walked around and interviewed people about his costume. Almost everybody in America was offended by it, thought it was appropriative, thought it was a stereotype. He went to Mexico and went to a parade and asked the people that lived there the same thing, and they were like, all they had to say was like, "I love your hat." And he was like, "Does this offend you guys for me to dress like this?" No. You know what I mean? India, it was the same way. That whole bindi thing, you don't hear that shit anymore. Because India basically shut it down. They were like, we love seeing people do Indian dance, learn the language, wear the garb, embrace the culture. And I think that's true of 99% of cultures that have existed on the planet. I think an almost inherent attribute of culture is its desire to share with other cultures and exchange with other cultures. That just seems to be true across the board, top to bottom, right? And so people that are trying to gatekeep, you can't wear this or you can't wear that because it's a Mexican hat or it's a Punjabi sari, that's just bullshit, man. If you go to these places, they're overjoyed to see Westerners honor their culture by wearing a sari or wearing a bindi or wearing henna. They don't go like, you can't wear that. You don't hear that over there. You hear it over here where people get offended for other people, especially when it comes to cultural shit. I don't believe in cultural appropriation at all. I think that the very term cultural appropriation ignores that attribute of culture that I just listed. The desire for the people within that culture to share it with others is completely denied by the idea of cultural appropriation. You can't appropriate a culture. You can celebrate it. You can make fun of it. You can't appropriate it. It's not something that just belongs to the people who culturally wear it. That's absurd. And the people that actually wear those cultural garments and decorations almost uniformly love to share it with people from other cultures and love to partake in the cultural fruits of other cultures. You see what I mean? Culture is just a big mishmash. It's like opening your heart up and saying, this is where I'm from. Why would you want to limit people from wearing that? Or decorating themselves in that way? It doesn't make any sense ever. It is fun, and it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be pretty. It's meant to be fascinating. It's meant to call to people. It's meant for you to go, like culture by its very existence says, hello, here I am. Take a piece of me with you when you go home. And that's not appropriative. Their whole language is heavily gendered. The concept of gender neutral words doesn't really exist for them. Who are we talking about here? Talking about Indians? I don't know much about that. Some people just prescribe moral weight to modes of cultural advancement that are beyond any one person's control. I don't even care about that, man. I want to have a talk with, like, I would love to have a group of college kids or activists who think cultural appropriation is a big problem. And I would like to get several representatives from every one of these, like from several of these countries. I'd like to get somebody from Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia. I'd like to get somebody from India, Pakistan. I'd like to get an American, Native American Indian there. And I would like them to actually tell people how they feel when they see somebody from another culture or with another skin color appropriating their culture. I want to see what the problem is, and if the people in college that are gatekeeping culture from other people experiencing it are onto something, or if they're overdriving it. I want one of those white Arabic robes with the hat on. That shit would be comfy as fuck in the summer. It is. That's why they wear that cultural garment, and they sell them and love. I watch a lot of travel channels, um, and I watch this guy Kurt from South Africa. He goes all over the fucking planet. And one of the things he does when he gets there is he tries to find a little fucking shop somewhere off the beaten path out of the tourist district. And he wants to get some cultural garb. He wants to get the hat. He wants to get the, thing. And nobody ever goes, "You are a white man from the West. You cannot have this." They're always so fucking happy that he's interested. So it's like, and like there are people out there that would deny that there is such a thing as American culture, but look at how American culture loves to share itself. In fact, it shares itself very aggressively by colonizing people. American culture is anything other than a beacon saying, here is our output, here's our soul. But for some reason, Indian culture, Pakistani culture is not that. Mexican, Central American, South American culture is not that. African culture is not that. Chinese, Korean, Filipino culture, it's not that. It's not that. American culture is that. European culture is that. But nobody Brown's culture is that. That makes no sense. Paul, have you ever seen the Bollywood version of Michael Jackson's Thriller? I've seen a lot of Bollywood stuff. I have seen that. It's been a long time, but I have seen it, yeah. Bollywood is fun. It's super fun, movie culture there. It's fun for people of a culture to want some piece of it, to stay insular, but it's just a fact that you cannot dictate that. Nobody controls or creates culture. It's an emergent phenomenon. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are ways that you could, rudely adopt a culture, like dressing in that stereotypical Looney Tunes Chinese peasant outfit with a braid on top of your head and walking around going, "Oh yeah, ooh." That's not cultural, that's racism, right? And so there's a difference between just wearing something because it's cool and comfortable and you like the culture, and aping that culture, right? You laughed. I mean, it's funny, but it's fucking awful, right? It's awful that we treat each other differently because our eye shape is different and our pigment colors are different. I mean, it's an awful thing that I hope humanity can free itself from before we walk into the darkness together. Hi, I'm from Afghanistan. Hello, sir. I hope you're safe. It's my understanding that Afghanistan is a bit of a mess right now, and I'm sorry for that as an American, although I fought against the American occupation there in every way that I knew how to do. I never supported it, but I have to take my responsibility for it, and it's pretty fucking horrible. Everyone is born beautiful, but so, yeah. American guilt, Paul. I mean, a little bit, yeah. I did a video back in 2009 called America Ashamed. They got huge. And it was about how I fucking see so much potential in this country, but I'm so ashamed at its lack of even reaching for that potential, It's hard not to feel guilty to be American with how much foreign suffering our government causes. I mean, guilt doesn't avail you of anything. I don't carry around a huge sack of guilt, but I do let it drive what I do here. I do try and take up for people that are elsewhere, when America starts seeding bombs all over their fucking country and planting mines all over the militarized zone in their country and stuff. I really do feel my heart goes out to the children and the families that'll never see their kids again over nothing, over a strip of land on the planet. You know, I can't look at it any other fucking way. Makes you feel better. America has had a shit ton of help. I believe the line from the video, America doesn't get a pat on the back because it stopped shitting its pants. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember part of your America Shame videos clipped and put in some documentary. The documentary is called Owned and Operated, and a number of clips from my videos were used in that. It's actually pretty cool. It's a legit documentary. It's kind of a media clip-driven documentary with really kind of slick editing, good soundtrack and stuff. It's in the style of kind of like the Zeitgeist stuff. But I'm all over that shit. Quotes from me, big rants from me, got all over that shit. And you can find it in its entirety on YouTube. It's called Owned and Operated. No, I can't sing Happy Birthday to You, sorry. Get banned. People just, like, that's another thing that kind of makes me sad. Being a streamer and such is like, sometimes people just need, like, to be noticed, I feel like, and that's really sad to me. They see a person and they're like, they spam up the chat because that person reading what they said means that they're real, maybe. It's really fucked, man. What'd you say to the Paul from the Paulanoia days? No, I would say buckle up, maybe, if anything. If that guy didn't exist and figure it out, this guy wouldn't exist. So why would I change that? I would never change that. So I might give him a little wry warning of buckle up, buttercup, and that's it. That can mean any number of things. I'm in the Netherlands and smoke a joint too. Hey, goodbye Deutschland. We're crying over you. Rutherford B. Hayes. One of the worst presidents ever. Rutherford B. Hayes. What? Oof. Fuck yeah, buckle up, buttercup. Amazing saying, yeah. You have a good voice? Thanks. It's my job. I need to have a good voice. 95.7 The Fox, your home for classic rock. Coming up now, we've got 30 uninterrupted minutes of classic rock and roll right here on Fresno's only home for classic rock, 95.7 The Fox. Voice for radio and a face for radio. Agreed on both counts, bud. I loved Amsterdam, the upstairs Panakoken. I have no fucking clue what that is, but cool. There's a thing, I have a talent that is almost completely useless to me because I don't want to be a radio guy. It's called hitting the post. I learned it from Howard Stern. You know when radio guys are talking, like Smoke on the Water will start playing. You know that? That's at the beginning before any lyrics. The guy will talk all through that. 96 degrees, gonna top off at 102 here in Fresno. We got Smoke on the Water for all of you, and hopefully no more smoke in the air. This is the Blue Oyster Cult. This is the Blue Oyster Cult. And right when they say cult, smoke on the water, burning fire in the sky. You know what I mean? They do that all the time. It's called hitting the post. If I know a song, or it's Deep Purple, sorry. If I know a song really well, I can hit the post on it every fucking time, bro. I thought it was the Blue Oyster Cult. First song most people learn how to play on guitar. It's a very simple song, yeah. I get it. You guys fucking corrected me a bunch. I get it. So you can talk. You can talk deliberately in a certain tone of voice and hit the post on a song. Yeah, I can do that. Like that's there are people out there who would deny that that's a talent. Being able to talk to people and be understood most of the time is a talent in and of itself. You know how many millions and billions of dollars are traded because of talk? I'm one of them. Cool. As I get older, I realize how rare it is to have someone make you a priority in your life. You have to make you a priority in your life. Nobody's going to prioritize you. Having that hairline past 25 is a skill. I know dudes going bald at 20. Great hair, man. Thanks, I guess. Social engineering outpaces technical ability 10 times out of 10. Yeah, it does. People don't want to admit it, but it does. People going bald at 20 is crazy. Dude, I knew dudes in high school that were already starting to get sparse, bro. Some people just win the lotto, man. I won the hair lotto, but nothing else. I will never go bald. Both of my grandfathers on both sides of my family died with full heads of hair. My dad is pushing 70, still has all his hair. My mom's hair isn't thinning. I got no hair loss in my family, but I got cancer, heart disease, mental illness, the whole fucking gamut, bro. Cheers to that, huh? I'd have a great career as Santa in movies later in life. I've already played Santa. I've already got a dank-ass Santa. I used to play Santa for migrant children in the school district I used to work in. You're tall, aren't you? That's another lotto you won. Yeah, you know what? True. I don't think about that very often, but it is true. The fart of humanity. Here it is. A repeat-do? Weed whacker, weed smoker. Edging. It's still your old place, right? Yes. I haven't moved yet. I'm probably not going to move for another 3 to 6 months. Hopefully 3, maybe 6. Maripidua. Need to get yourself a house in rural America with few to no neighbors. I'm working on it, bud. What do you think I'm looking for right the fuck now, bro? Did you work on the road? No. I did do some driving at one of my jobs that I had prior to going to college. I did some short haul driving, but I never did like long haul trucking ever. I never drove a big rig. I would drive a truck that had a cab that was about the size of like a full-sized U-Haul truck, but with a big open back, and I would move cullet material back and forth. Marlboro Black is my favorite cigarette. I also learned off the books how to drive fucking forklift, which I didn't know at the time, but is highly illegal, given I wasn't even 18 yet. But yeah, at 16 when I got that job, I was sitting forklift. So that's a nice little piece of education I got for free. Like the one you used to live in Cali a few years ago? Yes, something like that, yeah. Place where this isn't part of my day and my life. It's the fart of humanity. I don't ever want to have a lawn that's manicured if I can help it. I don't think it looks good. I don't think it avails me of anything. I would rather this land back here just be wild. Oh yeah, that's not okay. Well, I drive forklift for my job. Very strict on who gets on. Yeah. Yeah, I was 16 years old and they taught me to dump bins into a hopper with a forklift. Union job, cool. Forklift operators unite. What up? Suburbs remind me too much of Vivarium. Yeah, dude, this neighborhood right here, I walk at night sometimes. It's very Vivarium in this neighborhood. Every house was built by the same exact company. They're like 3-4 floor plans, I think, that you just see like repeated. The house that's right next to us, I believe, has the same floor plan as this house. Exactly. So when we're walking, sometimes I'll start turning up the fucking walkway to the wrong house because it just looks exactly like my house. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm another house up. It's like, it's spooky here, man. I want out. And I'm getting out. I'm just doing it smart. I thought that was weird. Did home installation in every gated community. The houses are all the same. So that changed in like the 70s and 80s. You started to see what they call tract houses built. Before the set, like in the 70s and the 60s and the 80s, when you bought a house, what typically you did if you wanted to get a house built was you contracted with somebody who built you a beautiful house to your specifications on the lot that you owned, right? And houses were like not cookie cutter at all. That's why, you know, if you're looking for a home, get one built in the 60s or the 70s or even the early 80s. They didn't start building trash houses until the mid 80s. And they really got trash in like the late 90s, early 2000s. This house here was built in, I think, 2002. And it is the most garbage house I've ever lived in. It is slapped together with Elmer's glue and a dream. It is garbage. It is such a cookie cutter piece of shit house. And every house around here is that exact same house. Because some company contracted to build this whole neighborhood. How many more times do you think you'll move in your life? Hopefully like maybe 1 or 2, man. I know 1 for sure. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. Maybe move and then find a house to purchase and move into that. I don't know. I'm hoping 2, man. I'm looking for my last spot. I really am. I got about 20, 25 years left on the old ticker. I'm ready to fucking find a spot to go ahead and die in. I'm good with that. Bro, don't talk like that. It's true though. It's okay that it's true. You know, what happened to the RV? That's still on the table. Yeah, that's still on the table. But if I have an RV, I'm gonna want a home base, right? So I'm gonna buy one of these RV spots with a lot rent, I'll own the land my RV sits on. I'll live in a nice place that I love. And when I want to go on a trip, I pull my slides in, pack up, and I go where the fuck I want. Should dye your hair for Pride Month. I don't dye my hair. I don't like fucking with my hair at all. When I was in high school, it was really popular for dudes to bleach their hair. Like, this is like pre-Eminem days. Like, bleaching your hair and then letting your roots grow out was like kind of a look in the 90s when I was a kid. And it fucks your hair up, man. I don't ever want to fry my hair like that. I like my hair. I don't want to color it. I don't want to put shit in it that doesn't belong in it. I keep it nice. I keep it smelling fresh. You know, I don't want it, dude. I don't want that shit, bro. If you did drag, would you wear wigs? Maybe. I don't know if I'd need to. I'd probably just get my hair nice and styled. I mean, I've got long hair. It's not down to my ass or anything, but it's past my shoulders. Somebody could do some cool fucking updo with me. Would you cook daddy pig for breakfast? I don't even know what the fuck that is, bro. Don't be weird in here. I'm gonna give you guys the rule as it stands in here because there's all new people coming in, okay? There's like basically one rule in this, and it's respect the vibe. That's my one rule for everything, right? And I'll tell you what respect the vibe means. Respect the vibe means I will give you the respect that you give me. So if you talk to me weird, if you talk to me in a familiar way, like you know me and you don't, then I'm going to ban you. And here's why. You're going to treat me and everybody else in here like you would treat a total stranger at the bus stop. You can strike up a conversation with me. You can laugh with me. You can fucking talk to me. You can ask me questions. You can do anything you want in here. What you can't do is treat me like you know me. Okay? Because you don't. I don't know you. So that's the way it's going to be run here. If you don't like that, you're free to pipe up with some stupid skibbity bullshit and get banned. I got a whole fucking legion of mods who are nothing but a hot trigger finger for stupidity. I'm fine with that. I'd rather you just talk to me. I'd rather you just abide by that one very easy rule of respect the vibe. How's the weather where you live? Hot, dude. I live in the Central Valley of California. It can be like 100 plus degrees. I think today it's going to be in the high 90s. It gets up to like 110 sometimes on the extreme end. It's fucked here, bro. You can add rules to the comment section that pop up before they start typing on YouTube. I'm going to do that. I don't know if it works in live streams, but I'm going to look into it because, yeah, I could put that shit in there, but respect the vibe or Paul Spectors will get you, yeah. Fresno or Clovis. I'm in Fresno, technically. Hello, Paul. Can we hear the tale of the other best bagel you had? You mentioned it a few streams ago when you oh, yeah. Well, the best bagel I've ever had, and a lot of people fuck on me for this, was a pizza bagel. I got it in Washington, D.C. and was there again with my dad. He was on a business trip in the area, and he took me and my sister this time so we could look at the sights. I got to see the Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, got to go to the Capitol, got to see the White House, got to go to the National Aerospace Museum and the Museum of National History in D.C. Great trip for a kid. And we would eat at little shops, you know, when we were walking around the city. And right near the hotel we were staying in, there was this bagel shop, and I fucking, look at me, dude, I'm fat as fuck. I love pizza. And they had a pizza bagel, and I ordered it. And I was expecting it to be kind of like, you know, just some sauce, some cheese, like a pepperoni or two on top. And this thing was cooked to perfection. It was, I can't even tell you guys. It was a transcendent experience for me. I ate that pizza bagel and I knew there was no going back. I would be lusting after that pizza bagel. I know. People make fun of me all the time. They're like, oh, that's a kid bagel. I know. But to this day, I've eaten, you look at me, I've eaten a lot of bagels. A lot of bagel witches, a lot of this, a lot of that. Different schmears, different types of bagel. Toasted, untoasted, raw. I've had it all, dude. I've had a lot of bagels. Artisan bagels, bag bagels. I'd get it all. I'm telling you, that pizza bagel blew doors on every bagel I've ever put in my mouth, bro. Blew doors. Wasn't even close. In Fresno, it can get up to 120 and feel like 130. 120 in Fresno is like city is shutting down. But yeah, it can. You ever had that real New York Jew bagels? Yeah, that was the story I told the other night about my trip to New York. I had a really great bagel shop that was right near the walk-up that my dad and I rented near Times Square there. And I had, like, the bagels there were just unmatched, man. Perfect. I always hear that New York City bagels are the best because of the water. Yeah, they say that about the pizza too. I don't know how true that is, but they say that New York City water is perfect for pizza and bagels. I don't know how true that is. I think it's just they have a longer tradition of making those things than other cities do. That's what I think it probably is. I don't think there's a magic ingredient in the water that makes it good or whatever the fuck. Does your country have oil? I am the United States. I'm here in California, so yeah, we do. Be careful, United States. Don't accidentally bomb yourself and steal your own oil, okay? I'm in Cali. I'm part of the U.S. Jake, that sounds like something that somebody that was 12 would ask me. You're gone. Bye. You remember the rule I just talked about talk to me like I'm a dude at the bus stop that you don't know and I don't know you? You wouldn't walk up and say, "What's your favorite cigarette?" to anybody, ever. So you're gone. See what I mean? I hold you to a standard of, at your age, you ought to know. Because this is an 18 plus stream. By the way, you know, YouTube restricts things, but we love kids here, okay? I advocate for kids. So if there are any kids in the chat today, anybody under the age of 18 that snuck past that algorithm, throw up some hearts in the chat. Let the people know that the kids are out there listening and doing something about it, okay? Put some hearts in the chat right now if you're under 18, please. I just love to shout out the kids. We love you. Throw some fucking hearts up in the chat. Come on, let's see them hearts. Under the age of 18, hanging out, having a good time. Let's see those hearts in the chat. Throw up those heart emojis, man. Show people that fucking Gen Alpha is out there and listening. Wow. That was the most successful expedition. We got a lot this time. I don't think we've ever gotten 6 in one go, but we do that. We comb them. It's like a, you know, if you ever had head lice, you have a knit comb. You got to go through your hair with a knit comb. We do a knit comb in here. 18 plus or fucking get banned. I don't even want you in here. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to talk to you. I mean, I don't care what you think about the world, bro. I know about kids, man. You know, I care about you. I think, you know, I believe the children are the future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. I'm fine with all that. But none of that, it doesn't say, listen to their bullshit and let them pretend that they're adults. You should spend your whole damn life reading Skibbity Toilet in your chat. The kids need a place to go where they can pretend to be adult. Let them waste your time. Let them waste your time. It doesn't matter. No. Remember? That's not what the song says. Okay? It's an 18 plus chat. For the very reason that if you're under 18, you have nothing to fucking say to me and your brain isn't even half developed yet. You got shit to do, bro. You probably got times tables to work on right now, bro. And I don't want to be responsible for you skipping out on your fucking homework. Go crack that long division and get it done, kids. Don't pipe up in here and don't waste your time watching things you can't hope to understand yet. In fact, take advantage of the fact you don't understand the type of fucking shit we talk about here. That's the beauty of being a child, is that you don't have to be inundated in the sauce of reality, okay? So get out. Don't pipe up. And if you are, you better be a real smart kid that conducts themselves like they're about 10 years older than they are. And I won't be able to catch you then, but dude, I suck at math now, almost all math. A lot of people do, bro. You ain't alone. I fucking barely got squeaked through math in high school to graduate. I wish I could get out of the sauce of reality. Nah, once you're in it, you're in it forever. That's why I think it's important for kids to be in a kid's spot doing kid things, man. Because you get one break from it in your life if you're lucky. A lot of kids don't get a break from it at all, but there are a lot of kids that do. If you get one break at all in your life, it is childhood. So do the stupid skibbity shit. But I don't have anything to say to it other than please grow up. So please don't bring it in here. How do you deal with isolating behavior? I don't know. I can't really help you with that. I have a tendency to isolate. I'm not a very openly social person, despite what you might think. I like to spend a lot of time alone, or just me and my wife, me and my dog, me and my cat, me and all three of those people. You know, that's my life. My life is very simple, very quiet. I'm not a big boisterous dude. I don't like going to parties. I don't like going out really all that often. When I do, I just kind of want to be with whoever I'm with. I don't really care about the crowds. But my living is talking to people all fucking day. So I get my socialization in different ways than other people get it. But I'm what they call an ambivert. So there's introverts, extroverts, ambiverts, right? Ambivert is I have a very strong tendency towards isolation and introversion, but I have strong bursts of extroversion that I need to manage. Did you do a ton of partying as a young man? I sure enough did, yeah. Teens and 20s were a social butterfly's life, and it drained everything I had out of me and left me a kind of a husk that had to rebuild himself. I don't regret doing it though, because I had a fucking you know what I hate is when old guys will be like, dude, I drank and partied and fucking smoked dope all fucking day from like 13 to 30. And man, dude, it ruined my life, bro. Blah, 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 blah. They don't ever want to fucking tell you the truth, dude. I had a ball, bro. I was a happy-go-lucky drunk, a happy-go-lucky pill popper, a happy-go-lucky smoker all through my teens and 20s, bro. I just wanted a vibe. I had a great time. I did some crazy shit. I met some crazy people. I had some fucking deep belly laughs that I'm still sore from fucking 30 years later, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a great time. I think that's the time you do it. Honestly, if you have that drive in you to go out and be a super social butterfly, your 20s is when you do it. Because your body is never more prepared to heal the damage of that than when you're in your fucking teens and 20s. Once you get to like 30, you're gonna start feeling the fucking reality start to set in. You can't binge drink like you did anymore. You don't even really want to be fucking high like you used to be. And then it goes on, and that doesn't get better with time, it gets worse, you know? That's just the truth. I had enough, and I outgrew a whole lot of that hard partying mindset and shit. It just was one of those things I did. I had a great time doing it. I don't regret doing it. I regret some of the shit that I did when I did it, but regret is a big, heavy bag that you don't really have to carry, you know?
You married a woman in her 20s that did none of those things.
Yeah. And you don't really have the drive to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't. If you did, I'd fucking go party with you at a bar. We've done that sort of thing together. It's just, it's not your bag. It's not what you want from your life. I think that's kind of smart. I don't think it helped my brain cells or brain chemistry to have all that sauce on the brain for a couple decades, probably. So you're doing right by yourself and you're making a good decision. But if you were gonna do it, these would be your years, you know?
I'm at the tail end of them, though.
Yeah. I don't judge people, man. Your life is your life. You're the only one trapped in that meat prison with yourself, and you're really alone with yourself. So you want to be 20, you want to go out, explore the world, explore your fucking philosophy, be promiscuous, explore your gender, explore your sexuality, explore drugs, explore socializing, explore all these. Man, you're never better equipped to do it than your teens and 20s. If you were partying hard, did you ever worry you'd join the 27 club? Dude, I didn't worry about shit, bro. I was invincible in my 20s. I was invincible. I have horrible health anxiety now. I mean, it's very managed now, and I'm working on it, so that helps a lot. But like in my 20s, dude, I didn't sit around worrying my heart was going to stop all day. I didn't sit around worrying that I was like abusing my body to the point that it might kill me, or that, hey, maybe I shouldn't pop 2 perks and then drink a bottle of vodka on top of it tonight. That's probably not, that shit didn't enter my mind, bro. I didn't even think. I was fucking gonna live forever. I was immortal. Nobody dies at 20. Come on, let's party. Let's get laid. Let's do everything we fucking want. Let's be hedonists. Let's try it out. Yeah, dude. And I had a great time, man. Like I said, I don't lie to people. I don't front about it. I don't make it, something that it wasn't. It was fun, man. I did some crazy shit, some regrettable, others just great stories. I met a lot of cool people. I learned a lot of hard life lessons, both on and off the drugs, just dealing with people that did that type of shit. Sounds fun, but the partying lifestyle must be detrimental to your long-term health. It does. And you don't build any long-term plans or skills. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. I tell you guys I partied through my teens and 20s, but I also worked my fucking ass off. I bought my first house at 21. I was engaged to be married at 23. I was married at 28. I had bought my second house at 28. And it was a really nice, beautiful house with a pool in the backyard and an old established neighborhood, big old trees, built in the 60s, beautiful house. Right? So all of that partying was going on during that little brief stretch of my life there. So I managed, like, I was a functional abuser of drugs. A lot of people are. There are addicts and abusers, and sometimes those are the same thing, that are non-functional. The disease progresses to the point where they can't support themselves. There are, in my opinion, vastly more functional drug abusers than non-functional. When I mean functional, I mean they never really hit a wall. They never get arrested. They don't get a DUI. They don't get fired from their job because they're not stupid enough to show up visibly high or drunk or stoned. They know how to push that limit. They know how to control themselves a little bit, right? Those people vastly outnumber the people that are living on the streets, just living hit to hit, smack to smack. And I was one of those. I still am one of those. I mean, if you're an addict once, you're an addict forever, right? I abused alcohol. I abused opiates. That's just true about me, right? But I never missed a day of work. I never got fired from any job for any fucking reason, let alone showing up drunk or high or missing work because I was too stoned or whatever the fuck, right? Never. I paid my bills. I fucking climbed whatever the little money-making ladder was all the way up to my job, I did what I was supposed to do. I didn't hurt a bunch of people. I didn't leave a whole bunch of, like, a wasteland behind me of hurt people. I did hurt some folks, but I wasn't like, I think I enrich the lives of people that know me. I think I'm a positive force in most people's lives. I might be negative to some people. I don't know. But I try. How old are you? I'm 44. I was born in 1980. Oh, thank you, baby. I'll come and work on it when I'm done here.
You're starting at 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's going to take me more than an hour and a half or something to just collate that last part. It's a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
So if anything, baby, just give me the platform. Give me the bare bones and get me some pictures and any videos, and I can handle the rest.
Okay.
Give me the bare bones if you're going to work on it at all. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. I got time. Does it sadden you that young people don't party as much? I don't know that that's true, though. I don't know that that's true. In fact, I hear that like young people that do party kind of harder than I did. You guys are into like coke and molly and all kinds of shit that never really touched my binge days. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't party with kids, so I wouldn't know. I try to party. I'm just poor. Oh, we found a way. We were broke as a joke, but you know, you're partying. You want to party with people. Everybody brings something. BYOB, man. Bring your own weed. Bring your own beer. Bring something to add to the party. Bring a pizza or something. Do something, man. Everybody pays if they want to play, you know. No freeloaders. You know, you're a little short on money. You come without something one time. That's cool. You better show up with something next time, though, or don't show up at all. You think you could fit in if you tried partying again? I still do party occasionally, and I have no problem fitting in. I don't go like binge drinking, but I'll go to like a family barbecue with a bunch of friends and family and shit. I could tie one on. I could have a 6-pack, get a good buzz going, eat some barbecue, go swimming, and smoke a couple joints. You know, I could fucking do it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's just not what I want to be doing 99% of the time, really. When I'm invited to one, I really, most of the time, like a family drinking barbecue thing, most of the time I politely decline, to be honest with you. But if I'm feeling up to it, I can do that shit. You tell a story of the one dude who violated that rule with your old friend group. Violated the rule. You're gonna have to refresh my mind a little better, honestly. I prefer DXM over ketamine. Yeah, I mean, you kids are fucking crazy, bro. We smoked weed in Vegas. Yeah, we did, probably. Did you get Ozempic or Wegovy? Nope. I'm doing just diet and exercise now, and it's working really well. I'm losing about 2 pounds of fat a week, which is like the healthy. I do not dye my hair. Dude who was using up y'all's weed. Oh, yeah. Guy was a grifter, man. Guy was a grifter. A guy named, his first name was Matt. And, like, you know, we were all chill with each other. You throw in a nug, I throw in a nug. We roll up a fucking pregnant armadillo. We both get high on it. It's chill. You bring some booze, I bring some booze. We both get drunk. It's chill, right? And this guy, Matt, he wasn't like he'd never come with anything. But dude came empty-handed 90% of the time, right? We liked him. He was a cool cat. But he pulled a couple of things that finally I just had to cut the motherfucker off, bro. I had to cut the motherfucker off. He was mooching, man, and then outright stealing. There was one party I went to. I brought some weed. I wasn't great at rolling joints. Like I said, we used to call them pregnant armadillos because we rolled them so fucking weird. They were smokable. They would work, but... You know, and these dudes that I didn't really know that well showed up at the party. They seemed to know Matt, and they were like, "Oh, you want us to roll up that weed for you?" And I was like, "Sure, guys, if you want. You roll a good J." They were like, "Oh yeah, I roll mad decent J." I was like, "All right, bro. Yeah, we'd soak together. Here's a baggie, you know." And he went. Remember, this is back in the '90s, so weed quality was pretty bad. And especially in comparison to now with legal weed and stuff. But we still had some good dank. But this was weed. It had some seeds in it. That's never a good sign. That means it's wild grown, with cross-pollinated. Like the female plant was not kept segregated from the male. And so it didn't get all the terps and stuff. They didn't well, here's what happened. They rolled up a joint, right? Gave it to me. And we're like, "You know what, dude? Sorry about this, man, but I just got a page. We got a jet, bro." And I was like, "Dude, you guys don't want to spark?" And they were like, "Nah." Nah, man, we're good though. Thanks, man. No problem, man. We'll get you next time. I was like, cool. Thanks, guys, for rolling up this nice fat J. They're like, all right, bro. And as they're walking out, Matt goes, props on the pinch. And I was a kid. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. But those guys went like, yeah, man. And they left, right? Props on the pinch was him telling them, I watched you steal this guy's whole bag of weed just now. Good hustle bustle. This is my friend that was always smoking on my weed. So they disappeared. I go to spark up that weed. It starts sparking at me. It's got nothing but crushed up stems and a few seeds in it. They took every bit of that weed. And that dude was supposed to be my friend who, like I said, most of the time, 80, 90% of the time, came empty-handed to shit. And we let him be around because he was cool. Oh, dude, it was over. Like a week after that, I had him over my house, like partially to talk to him about that bullshit. And it was around my birthday, and my uncle, I believe, had given me a $50 bill for my birthday, and it was sitting on my fucking dresser. And it disappeared after Matt was over. That's when I just fucking told him, I said, dude, you show up where I'm at, I'm gonna beat your little ass. Don't come around me anymore, you little fucking thief. That $50 just walked with him. He just couldn't help himself, man. He was a little fucking conniving, shitty weasel thief. And that's the last time I ever saw that motherfucker. He never tried me on that. After I told him I'd bust him up bad if I ever saw him show up where I did, for some reason he had a radar on me. Because I never saw that motherfucker's face one time ever again. But yeah, you know, that's a type of weaselly fucking friend, man. Always had a fucking hand to dip into the weed bag. Take a nug when you weren't looking. Rip you off because there's a couple bucks on the counter you're not looking at. Motherfucker, dude. Motherfucker, bro. He avoided you like sharks avoid orcas, yeah. Do you call you Polly Porque? No. That was what Mexican kids called me. Paul Porque. Means Paul for what? Paul for what? Womp, 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 womp. I'm a sucker for a sob story. Lost a few friends that way. My heart is too big, homie. Oh, yeah, bro. I had to learn, bro. I didn't learn until my mid-30s that dude, can I tell you guys some fucking truth? Can I spit some fucking wisdom and truth at you right now? I was 35 years old when I realized that I was surrounded mostly by vampires, bro. People that were taking my energy, my help, my friendship, my love, and never wanted to give anything back, dude. When I got divorced, people just ditched me the fuck out, bro. Ditched me out. Treated me like a scumbag. People that I had known for fucking years, dude. Since I was a kid. All of them just fucking turned their backs on me, started shit talking, started bullshitting. And I learned that all of those years I spent building what I thought were friendships, all I was really doing was being used by a bunch of people like a doormat. Why did they do that? Because they didn't feel the same way about me that I felt about them. A lot of these people, I nursed them through their divorces. When they got divorced, I didn't judge them or their ex. I said, I love you. You need a place to be to get your shit together for a while? You can come stay with me, man. I got an extra bed upstairs. When I got divorced, it was all bile. I learned that my facility for caring about people, I'm an empath, that there are people out there that look for that little light, that little lamp in the darkness, and they're like moths, man. But they're big, giant moths, and it's their job to not just bask in the light, but suck in it. Drink it into themselves and turn it into darkness. And I was surrounded by people like that, bro. They flock to people like you and me, if you're feeling the same way as I do. If you're that type of person that's got a genuine big heart, you care about people even if you don't know who they are or what they are, dude, you are like a target for manipulative narcissists and sociopaths and like people that just want to use and use and use. They see people as utilities, not as people. I'll be divorced 30 years this year. Best decision ever. Got to agree with you, buddy. I'm remarried now. Also, I think my best decision ever. But yeah, my divorce was like it was a sea change in my life. It was when I learned who I was and what I had, which was nothing. And then I started building the person that I always wanted to be at 35. I got rid of all my fucking shitty polo shirts from my old job. I sought out a job that I liked, this job, and I've done it for 13 years, man. Has anyone here experienced depersonalization, derealization? Yes. What's your favorite food, Paul? You're an amazing person. By the way, bre, don't ask people questions in the chat. It's confusing for me because I answer chat questions and stuff. This is not a place to like converse with people and shit. Don't add other people. Don't ask the chat questions that they might want to respond to. Ask me a question. Take it to DMs if you want to talk to somebody in here. I was falsely accused of assaulting someone. Oh, dude, I don't want to fucking. Look, dude, I can't take your side on that. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But that sucks if you were like accused falsely. Sorry, I'm behind, but actually, no, you're way behind, bro. I left home at 19 with $100 to my name. Best choice I ever made. Immigration cost 150 pounds after leaving because I didn't stress eat anymore. Yeah. Paul, I fuck with you heavy. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Do you want somebody? I need to do my morning stretches, so I'm going to flip you guys around, or I'm going to try to. I'm going to see if it works, so you guys can watch my fat ass do my stretches. People have asked that they want to see that, so I'm going to see if I can make that happen for us. Let's see here. Get rid of this hot ass fucking Kool-Aid. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, let's see what I can do. I'm just going to put the box over here. I'll prop you guys up over here like that. And as long as I stand somewhere in that shot, I'll have to line it up. You guys should be able to see me stretch. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. This will work. Okay. You won't be able to see all of me, and I may shuffle around a little bit, but I'm just going to do my yoga stuff that I do in the morning. And my pants may fall down. You know what? Let me fix this. I'm wearing a pair of fucking new swimming trunks, and I haven't tied them yet. So let me get those fucking actually tied up so you guys don't have to watch my pants fucking come down and see my little wang. I don't want to show anybody that. Okay. Let's start again. Blah. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. Wow. Yeah, concrete's getting hot on my toes. But that's what we do in the morning. Well, we do that in the morning, afternoon, and night. Just some different exercises each time. Hoo-ah. Feeling good, man. Oh, it felt great. Tingles all the way down to the end of my fingers. Oh, it feels good. Heart pumping in the right way. Body feels awake now. Dinor's inside. It's a little bit hot. I know what I just did was not impressive. It's not meant to be. The mobility that I just displayed to you, the ability to bend all the way over at the waist, touch the ground, do a proper fucking squat, roll my neck around, move my back in the motion that I move it. All of that is new within the last 6 months. Do you do sumo stretches? That really helped me with mobility. I don't. I'd have to look into that. Good to touch a bit of grass, yeah. That's the one thing that I have to have, is I have to do that in the sunlight. I need the sun right on my face when I do it. That's why I wait till about noon. 10 to noon is usually when I do my early one. That is impressive to those who know what it's like being big. Yeah. I'm able to like get up out of a chair with no effort now. That's like brand new, bro. I used to have to like every time I stood up, use my arms to support it. Now I can just stand like anytime I want. It's with little to no effort. It's fucking great. Why are you so sensitive to fat jokes, but you can make them so often? I'm not really all that sensitive to fat jokes. I just find them to be like most of the time pretty fucking low effort. Like, I'll make a fat joke. I'll laugh at a fat joke. Like, a dude came in here a couple of shows ago, and he said, dude's built like a Ferris wheel. And I fucking lost it, bro. That was a good fat joke. Like, that fat joke had me fucking laughing. Anybody that was here when I did it will remember. Oh, by the way, I've been doing this a while. Trip, you know the fucking deal, right? You are not obligated to do anything with it, but you are now a standard mod in this chat. Do what you will with it, okay? I just kind of want to keep track of you so I can see your name, see your wrench. Fat jokes are oftentimes an excuse to be really mean to somebody. Yeah. It's true, but like, I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with like low effort shit. You seem chill as fuck. I try to be, man. On the inside of my brain and in my heart, it's not chill, but I like to be chill, and I'm striving for that all the time, man. But I've got a little bit of an anger problem. Definitely got a problem with like anxiety and depression and stuff. Kind of impinging on that. I got a little bit of PTSD. Well, I got a lot of bit of PTSD from my, some stuff that happened to me when I was younger. And yeah, dude. So I work to be chill, but I really try, man. I really try hard. Seeing you putting in the effort to lose weight motivates me to want to do the same thing. I'm really not trying to do a diet program. I appreciate the feedback and it's nice to hear, and I hope you do, if that's what you want. But I'm really not trying to invent some diet method or something. This has been a lifestyle change for me, not a diet, not an exercise regimen. This is something I do because it like feeds both my body and my soul. What's your weight goal? Well, at the top of this last time when I really started working on it, this was probably about 8 months ago, I weighed in at 368 pounds. It's one of the highest I've ever seen. I think the highest I've ever seen on the scale was 375. And it really like put the fear in God of me as a 44-year-old weighing that much, huffing and puffing as much as I did, just walking around. like all of the like limited mobility was really starting to set in my joints and my back, and I was starting to stiffen up, and I was just in pain all day, and I was sick, and I was like very hopeless. My mental health had never been worse, man. I had basically, maybe it was bottom. I don't know what the fuck it was, man. But at 367 pounds, I decided that I was going to try and do a few things. It started just with going to the doctor. I got on a CPAP. That changed my life. And then it became confronting some issues that I've had with food and finding a diet that wasn't a diet, but just food that worked for me. That ended up me adopting like a pescatarian kind of lifestyle. I love moving, and not being able to move was tragic for me. And so I learned to stretch myself, stretch my body. I started doing yoga. I started doing meditation more, and I got shit in handle for me, for myself. Like I got shit, all of those problems are still there, but I've got them, like I'm working on them now. And so since I started about 6 months ago, I've averaged about 2 pounds of fat per week lost. The last time I weighed myself, I had lost almost 30 pounds. It's down to like 330, 338 or something like that. And I foresee that the next time I get on the scale, I'll probably have shed another 10 to 15 of that. So I'll probably be closer to like 315, 320. Part of what I do is I don't weigh myself every day at home. I don't obsess over the number because that can fluctuate. I'm also building muscle and stuff. I'm walking more and all that. My ultimate weight goal, the doctors say I would be healthy at somewhere around 220 to 180 is like for my size. They'd want to see me in there. I would love to get to 250 pounds. If I weighed 250 pounds with the size of my frame, my height, I'm 6'1" and change. A little skosh over 6'1", not quite 6'2" maybe. I think 250 I would look pretty good, and I would have a lot of mobility, and I would probably just continue losing any excess weight from there just by the amount of physical activity I'd be capable of at that weight. Is it true heavy people actually have a lot of muscle mass as well? My legs are so fucking strong. They have to be, right? I have very strong calf muscles, very strong upper body, or sorry, lower body, like lower body strength. I'm fucking jacked, bro. My legs are huge. I've got huge muscles in my calves and thighs, right? Getting my hamstrings stretched out was one of the hardest parts of my stretching regimen because they were so tight because they're so fucking huge, right? And the same thing goes for like my shoulders, my neck muscles. Like I don't have a ton of upper body strength, but I've got way more than it looks like I have because my body, I've worked hard my whole life, and my body has been slinging around all this extra weight my whole life. So, you know, I'm way more like lower body swole than upper body, but I'm stronger than you probably think I am. I'm not a weightlifter, but I can do my part and then some when it comes to lifting shit if I need to. Now, keep in mind my back is fucking destroyed, so I could hurt myself really bad lifting something heavy. But as far as my capability muscle-wise to do it, oh, it's there. People have told me that, blind programmer, if I just moved to like Europe for a couple months and did like a long-term visa there or something, that I'd just like drop weight just being there. I'm doing fine though, man. 2 to 3 pounds of fat every week are falling off of my body, bro. It's like little, I try and imagine it like little bags filled with sand that are all just like tied all over me with rope. And every week, 1 or 2 of those fucking bags of sand is just falling off of me. And I've got a little less weight to carry and a little more strength. Why is your back so bad? I was born with scoliosis, and I was born in the 80s at a time when they would diagnose kids who had scoliosis with minor correctable scoliosis. It was just kind of presuming that the spine would straighten itself out. Now the treatment plan is vastly different. But I have a what's called a scolioid curve in my, what do they call it up there? The cervical spine. So right below my neck, between my shoulder blades, my spine kind of does that a little bit instead of being a straight column or a curved column like it's supposed to be. It's like this. It takes a little snake. And that part of my back has to be compensated for by my shoulders and lower back. And so I injure that part of my back, I injure my upper back and neck and my lower back a lot. It is not really, it's fixable in terms of me gaining mobility and stretching and gaining core strength to counteract, right? Which is what I'm working on. It is not, I'm not a candidate for surgery. When they find kids that have scoliosis like I was diagnosed with in the 80s now, the recommended treatment is a very invasive corrective surgery where they basically put 2 steel rods in your back when you're young, because your bones haven't all set and finished growing yet. They put 2 steel rods in your back to force it to grow in the right way. And then after a few years of that, when your bones are more mature and the spinal curvature has been corrected, they take those steel rods out of your back. All my bones are done growing. They're doing nothing but degrading now. And so I'm just not a candidate for that kind of corrective surgery. It wouldn't do anything. It would just force me into a really painful, straight position. And I would have pain from that. And that would never be addressed. I would never get it out, you know, so that I'm just not a candidate. That's what I'm working on, Brianna. I'm working on core strength. I mean, you saw I wasn't doing a bunch, but I do core strength exercise. I'm building up, right? Building muscle, losing fat. The less weight pulling down on that broken column that is my back, the less it hurts, the more mobility that I gain. So that's what I'm doing. Paul, what do you think of 15-minute cities? Do you think as global warming worsens, there'd be a movement to this? So a city that you can get anywhere in it in 15 minutes due to the great infrastructure, I think we're gonna have to do some shit like that. I think we're gonna have to do some shit like that or die. I don't think that this like paradigm, especially here in California, man, this paradigm of like spread out instead of building a new city, you know, allowing a little space between things. A city like LA blooms into this kind of like mega city that it is now, right? That doesn't work. You're 100% on it. That's the advice I give to my clients. Oh, do you work as like a nutritionist or a phys therapist or something, Brianna? I think I remember you saying you were in school for something like that. That's really cool. That's really neat. And that's like encouraging to hear from somebody who knows what they're talking about. I'm really not trying to make it a regiment for myself that does anything but make me feel good, man. I love how I'm eating now. I'm a massage therapist. Oh, cool. I love how I'm eating now. I love how I'm moving now. I love that every day I feel like I get a little bit more strength, a little less fat. You did get to under 300 pounds, TJ would then be the fattest of DFF. I think if I can get below 320, TJ will be firmly the fattest. I think TJ's like at 330 right now or something. I may be speaking out of school, he'd have to say. But I think that me and TJ are about the same weight right now. Now, he is way taller than me, so you got to factor that in, obviously. But if you're talking like pound for pound, I probably weigh about as much as TJ. That's going to make me more fat than TJ is now. But if I can get down below 320, 310, I got him whooped, man. I got him whooped. And it's not impossible for me. Back in the DP days, I started working out, dieting and stuff. I got down to below 270. I think it was like 267 before I started gaining again. So I've been well below the 300 mark. Did this TJ last quitting cigarettes? Oh, somebody banned you for that, or you retracted it. You're definitely using much more sustainable method of weight loss, yes. But how would homelessness be solved in a 15-minute cities? It'd be like downtown. Homelessness is gonna need to be solved one way or the other. And by solved, I mean not otherizing the people that are homeless. I mean addressing the social ills that land people on the streets. Mental health problems, money issues, no social safety net, medical debt, bankruptcy, all that shit that, you know, drug abuse with no counseling centers, and it's nothing but punitive measures fighting it. You got to change all of that. If you change all of that plus the education system, homelessness becomes a non-issue in your society. And when it does, it's easily addressed. Those people can get the help they need to get off the street. Some of them might belong in a facility that looks after them and takes care of them. Some of them might just need to get off the sauce and be given the opportunity. But it becomes much easier to deal with the indigent in a society that takes care of them. I live in a city with the highest per capita population of homeless people. Well, you may as well say what it is if it's true. What city is that, Brianna? We've got a lot of homeless people here in California, so I would guess maybe LA County or something. But you said per capita, so maybe not. I mean, it's fucking crazy here in LA. I just drove through. You're in Eugene. Okay. That makes fucking sense. That makes fucking sense, Brianna. We drove through the Bay Area recently, and I hadn't been through there in probably like 5 or 6 years. And I saw the endless tent cities along the shaded fucking overpasses and stuff as you're going into, San Francisco proper and coming out of Oakland and going back into Oakland a little bit on the 101 there. I've never seen it like that in my life. Last time I was in LA, it was fucking the same. I'm starting to see it popping up way more here, although it's way harder for homeless people here in the summer than in LA or San Francisco. The heat here is fucking nuts. You live in the Bay? Bro, let me tell you something. This was my bad, okay, Soul Hound, but you gotta back me up on this. When I came back, dude, I was making good time and stuff, but I didn't think, and I hit fucking the north end of the Bay at like 4:45, dude. I was in traffic just getting through Oakland, getting through San Fran, getting out into Stockton. I was in traffic, I'm shit you not, 3 hours, bro. That's fucking untenable. There are people that do that every fucking day. And that was me using the fucking HOV lane. I had my wife with me so I could cruise the HOV lane, and still took me 3 fucking hours to get through the North Bay to Stockton. Bro, that's unbelievable. If I would have went through there at 2 a.m., it would have been a fucking 30-minute jaunt at 70 miles per hour. Maybe even less, dude. Maybe like 15, 20-minute jaunt. Became 3 fucking hours, bro, in stop and go. There are people doing that every day. Every day. People commute right in the middle of that, back and forth to these adjacent cities that are way cheaper to live in so they can make more money in the Bay. Bro, it's untenable, and it's getting worse. And now you've got that lined with tents on both sides of the fucking freeway all the way through Oakland. Bro, it's like the world has ended and nobody knows it. All due respect, Trip, you do not want to live in a tent by the side of a fucking freeway, bro. That is no way to live. Yeah, see, I can't speak for the East Coast, but I've heard, man. SFO to the East Bay during 5 o'clock traffic takes between 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. Untentable. Yeah, dude. Baltimore. I can only speak for Cali, guys. I'm telling you, the LA basin is a fucking dystopian nightmare. The Bay is a dystopian nightmare when it comes to traffic. Both of those places have beautiful things, great fucking food. Like, I'm not trying to take that away, but we're talking just traffic. LA is the most dystopian thing you'll ever do. There's an interchange, the 99 to, I can't even remember what it is, man, 5 or something. If you're coming from where I live, you go over what we call the Grapevine, right? You go through a little town called Grapevine, California, and then you go up over the coastal range into the LA basin. You land around Valencia on the other end of the Grapevine. And that's where Magic Mountain is. And then you've got a bunch of choices, right? You go through that fucking area. You go through Valencia and Orange County, and you can either go downtown or you can go to the fucking East Basin. You can go to the beach, right? I went with my ex-wife to see a tennis match in LA. I used to be a way bigger tennis fan. I still am, though. I still kind of follow it and I'll watch it. But I was a big fan of tennis back in like well, honestly, from like the late 90s, the Pete Sampras days, all the way up through like the Roger Federer days, right? And they were doing like exhibition matches and stuff in LA at a big fucking arena downtown. And my ex-wife and I are both tennis fans. We wanted to get tickets because we got to see Pete Sampras. We got to see some of the old guys, a lot of the new guys. We got to see Federer. We got to see Sampras. We got to see fucking what's his name? Dude with the loud mouth. He was super fucking. Dude, the name escapes me. You were born in Valencia. Beautiful, dude. I did a full summer, 2.5, almost 3 months at CalArts in Valencia. It's my favorite campus in the world. No, his name is Mick. He just had a loud mouth. He would cuss at people. He's still like an old guy now, but he was less old. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Bunch of old tennis guys and new tennis guys playing matches, right? And we had to get from Fresno to downtown LA, literally downtown among the tall buildings, right? And so there's an interchange where you get off the 99 at the end of the Grapevine and you have to get on, I don't remember what it is. You guys could look it up to go downtown. I fucking shit you not. You guys have never seen anything like it, I guarantee. There are probably like maybe 10 places on the planet, and most of them are in China, that even looks like this, bro. Even looks like this. It is an 18-lane highway. 9 lanes going north or east, in this case. 9 lanes going south. Only exit on the right. So people that are trying to get over to the right are crawling. People that are all the way to the left are doing 80. There's nothing in the United States that even approaches that interchange to downtown LA. It is fucking insane. And it's only gotten worse. That was like 15 fucking years ago, guys, that I braved that strip and lived to tell the tale. "18 lanes of both stop and go and fully blown out 80 miles an hour fucking California freeway traffic, and you got to get left or right to get anywhere, and it's fucking impossible. It's just like, dude, on the right of you, it's just gridlock and nobody's moving. On the left is it's like, good luck getting pulled over into that. What would solve this problem? A complete and utter redesign of not only how LA handles transportation, but how human beings think about transportation. We need to move to fast trains, automated cars, buses, all of these fucking things that everywhere else in the world uses so that their cities are walkable and make sense. We'd have to implement it, and we'd have to do it now. And it would be trying to do it. It would be trying to like do it on the fucking like bones of an insane city that was never designed properly. So it's almost an impossible feat. You would have to shut down LA. Nobody's going to do that. Toronto has the TTC and it has its flaws, but I can get anywhere in an hour. Yeah, I mean, instead of having more lanes, they should remove speed limits and make DL hard to get, like Germany. I don't think you can do that here, dude, because if you don't have a car, you can't work in a lot of fucking places. Like, if you live in LA, good luck surviving if you don't have a fucking car, bro. You should be able to walk to your work and a grocery store. You should be able to walk everywhere. You should be able to walk to a grocery store, to a number of restaurants, to a park. There should be a bus stop that'll take you downtown easily. You know what's a good walkable city? Seattle and Bellevue. I lived in Bellevue. I would go over to Seattle. I would stand at the bus stop every like 15 minutes. There was a bus straight to Seattle, right? Go over the bridge, go right underground where the trains pick up, let you off underground. You go straight from the bus drop off to a train going up to the top of Capitol Hill or wherever you want to go. And you're there in like 10 fucking minutes, bro. It's crazy. You can walk anywhere you want. Great walkable city, honestly. Great design. I've never been to Eugene. I almost said too much. Well, let's just say this. I might be living way closer to Eugene soon than I am now. Eugene, in fact, might end up being the closest big city to me where I end up settling. I know that's just basically giving people my location. I don't care anymore. People already fucking basically guessed it. I love owning my car, but it sucks dealing with bad drivers every day. Public transit should be free and paid for by tax dollars rather than the trillionth defense dollar. Yes, that's true. Oh shit, Paul. Yeah, I'm moving. Look, dude, whatever. I'm moving up north. Why wouldn't they update LA slowly, piece by piece? Think of it this way. LA is your circulatory system. Why don't they shut down your circulatory? LA traffic and getting around LA, something as huge as LA, is like a circulatory system. It's constantly pumping, and if it isn't, everything shuts down by proxy, right? How do you shut down part of your circulatory system to do work on it? I mean, it's like heart transplant, hook you up to the temporary pump and pump blood through you till they get a new heart in you. That's not feasible. Bypass is not shutting down part of your fucking circulatory system. It's about adding more blood flow to your circulatory system by taking a vein from one thing and putting it somewhere else. If you shut down the parts of LA that need to be fixed, even if you do it like 5-mile increments and just did them all at once, you would destroy the city. Some of the things that need to be done would require huge eminent domain seizures of millions and probably billions of dollars of property to widen thoroughfares, to make things walkable. It's not feasible, man. I mean, it's feasible, but it's not plausible. Let's put it that way. Wish Florida was walkable. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Phoebes, but I don't think you understand. I know you've been through the fucking LA basin, but I don't know if you appreciated when you were there the fucking size and brokenness of it. I don't know how much traveling you did in the LA area, what parts you went to. That place is a beautiful, broken metropolis. Dystopia and beauty all woven together in one giant unbroken city that it takes fucking 3 hours to drive from one end up to the other, doing like 60 miles an hour if you don't get hit stop and go. You're in LA, or what we consider in California to be LA, the basin, the hills, all of that shit, for pretty much unbroken, like, I don't even know the square mileage. It's insane. LA Metro is 20 million people. It's fucking insane. There are more people that live in LA, what was considered to be LA, than live in a lot of Midwestern states, bro. I think Wisconsin's got like 8 million people in the whole fucking state. You could drop the whole population of Wisconsin in the middle of the LA basin and nobody would notice. Come on, dude. People don't understand. And if that stops working, the economy of the fucking United States falters. You can't fuck with it. It's almost unfixable. Paul, is there poor area in LA low income friendly? No. Yes. It depends. LA is huge. There are parts of LA that are literally like no-go zones. Don't walk down there if you're not from there because you're probably going to get gaffled up. And there are parts of LA that are all filled with Section 8 housing that are beautiful, that have local fucking shops, super walkable, old neighborhoods, beautiful neighborhoods, right? It depends. You got to know where to go in LA. It's like there are people that are warded away from Compton because it's mentioned in a lot of 90s rap. right? But I've been to Compton since the 90s. Compton is beautiful. The little Section 8 apartments and stuff down there are gorgeous, super walkable. Maybe it's dangerous at night deep in the neighborhoods and stuff, but the main thoroughfares and the living areas and the shopping areas and the walkable parks and stuff in Compton are beautiful, bro. I walked all around that fucking place and never even got hassled once. Just window shopping, popping into these little mom and pop boutiques, getting good ass food that doesn't have a McDonald's on it, you know, some like good down home fucking, like Compton is one of the best places in LA to walk down the main drag there and just get like fucking street food, like street vendors, taco trucks and that sort of thing, food trucks, little mom and pop like restaurants from all over the world too. Like if you're getting deep into the trenched off neighborhoods in Compton at night and you're walking around, you don't know where you are, you might get hassled or something, but dude, Compton is hella safe. That's true of any big city, bro. You got to know where to go and where not to go. This idea that like Compton, Long Beach, like these places that were gang hotspots in the 90s are still unwalkable, unlivable, unvisitable, unenjoyable parts, like no-go zones of South Central LA is just bullshit. It's bullshit, bro. Awesome. Thank you, baby. It's like now you want to talk about a place that you don't want to really fucking spend a whole lot of time in, at least the last time I checked, like most of Inglewood. There's a couple of nice parts of Inglewood that I wouldn't mind going to shop or something in the day, but I don't go to Inglewood. Inglewood has some fucking no-go zone type of Section 8 shit in it. It has some shit where if you get off on the wrong fucking street, you might just get lit up for being in the wrong fucking area, dude. It's definitely a robbery target immediately. There are places in LA, no joke. You've seen the movie fucking Training Day that takes place in Los Angeles. There's that scene where Alonzo takes the rookie to his baby mama's house deep in the fucking hood. And he tells him, don't ever come down here without me, yo. These animals will eat you up down here. And there's a dude flipping pigeons and shit. That wasn't just like for the movies. That is part and parcel of parts of LA. And it's not always clear where those parts are. So you have to have your head on a swivel in LA. I'm not gonna like try and dress it up like it's got no problem. I was born in Inglewood and I have family buried there. I don't feel like I can even visit my deceased family. Yeah. No, I don't blame you, bro. Inglewood is a mess. And it's dangerous. What is flipping pigeons? So in the hood, people will keep pigeon coops on top of their buildings, on top of the fucking apartment blocks and the tenement blocks. And it kind of serves a dual purpose. Number one, it's a hobby. The people that live down there, I genuinely love those birds, but it's also a really cheap way to warn the neighborhood that there are cops coming, or that a rival gang is coming, or that somebody that you don't know is coming. A dude that's kind of just chilling up there with his pigeons during the day, sipping on a fucking 40 and smoking on a fucking blunt, is watching up and down the streets with his vantage point. If he sees some cop cars rolling in, he flips those pigeons. He opens his coop and he does this. And those pigeons fucking start flying out and making a bunch of noise, dropping feathers all over everybody, looping back to the coop, and he keeps clapping them away, right? So that's flipping pigeons. It's just it's an old ass way of letting a neighborhood know fucking cops are coming. You can see it in Training Day. I was just explaining to people that Training Day was not just some made-up hood shit for the movies to make it look worse than it was. If anything, Training Day made it look better. I don't think either Alonzo or the rookie would have walked out of that fucking neighborhood it was a real fucking Inglewood hood. I don't think either of them would have walked out of there alive, and I don't think their bodies would have been found either. So if anything, it ennobled or downplayed the danger of the hood. Mother mercy. I'm from the hood. A lot of people are. A lot of people never fucking. That's a fact that I always try and when I'm talking about LA, and maybe we're like having an adjacent topic to gangs, poverty, and stuff. There are people that are born in the basin, born in what we call South Central LA, which is 20 miles or less from the ocean, who live and die in the same 10-mile geographical area and never see the ocean. They live their whole lives and die in LA, and they have never been to the beach, not one time. They've never seen the ocean. And that is true of a lot of cities, but LA, it's true. It's more true there than it is most anywhere else on the planet. If you're from there, your opportunities are almost zero. Fatty Casio? This is a Stern glass, my friend, not a Casio. Although I do have a Casio data bank that I wear. It's my beater. Got a number of watches. This is a mechanical watch. I am a fatty though. But yeah, it's not a Casio, my dude. It's a Stern glass with a Miyota movement in it. It's completely mechanical. It has a self-winding mechanism that moves when my hand moves. It winds the watch. Yeah. Not a Casio. That's cool though, that you know Casios. Casios are fun, dude. I have a data bank that I wear as my beater. It's like a $25 watch. It's got a fucking calculator on it. It's Marty McFly's watch from fucking Back to the Future. It's my beater. This is a fully mechanical watch. I have to wind it if I haven't worn it for a while. I'm a watch nerd, dude. You know what I want to do before I end this for you guys? I want to show you guys some shit, bro. Because I finally can do this. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. I'm going to bring you guys my watches. I'm going to show you my collection. Watch nerds rejoice. People that find watches interesting rejoice. Everybody else copes, even mauled. For the last part of this will be about watches, because I can finally do this. This is very cool, very fun. Let me get everything set up properly here. And by properly, I mean in a way that'll work for me. And I'll show you guys everything. I gotta take this watch off and put it in its home here, where it lives when it's not on my wrist. In my watch case. I bought a cheap ass fucking watch case. It's a 6-watch case and it's almost full. It's got 5 slots filled. I own 5 watches of various shapes, sizes, colors, and design, and varying between digital and mechanical and mecha quartz. So I've got a little started watch collection that will grow over the years, I'm sure, but right now it is beautiful. In my eyes, at least. So I'm gonna give you guys a little look at it. Arranged how I like to arrange it. Let's see. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now I just gotta do this and flip the camera for you guys. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Get that over here for a minute. Get these over here. Fuck. God damn it. Get lighter. Skibbity. Okay, here we go. Here are the watches. And then we'll go, I'll sit down and we'll go through each one. Here's the case. Left to right. Here's the whole collection. Here's left to right. Pretty fucking cool. This is my little cheap ass fucking watch case. I keep them in. Anyway, let me, I'll go through each one. I'll tell you what it is, what it does. I'll show it to you. These are not expensive watches. These are not like thousands of dollars worth of watches. There's hundreds of dollars worth of watches in here. All right, first watch. This is the first watch that I purchased, actually. This is the Sternglass, which is a German watch company. Sternglass Hamburg Argo. This is a mechanical watch with a date functionality. You can watch the beautiful little sweeping second hand there. We love to see that. Sorry about the reflection. I don't know what I can do for that. Maybe just get a better angle on it for you. There you go. So this is the first watch I ever bought. I love this watch. It's beautiful. Sternglass is probably my favorite micro brand right now. I'm a fucking huge sucker for German watches. I'm going to show you another German Bauhaus watch here second. I'm just going to go down the line here, I guess. Not necessarily from my favorite to my favorite, but, you know, I don't really have favorites yet. This is my second Sternglass piece. This is the Sternglass Hamburg Chrono in white on a gray NATO strap, they're called. This is a beautiful piece of work here. This is my second Sternglass watch. This is a mecha quartz movement, meaning that it is a combination of battery operated and mechanically operated. So it's a battery movement and a mechanical watch, right? Let me see. I'm going to show you guys what a chronograph does here for a second, if I can. It's kind of hard to do. I did this the other day, but you guys can see that okay. So look at the red hand there. What would normally be the seconds hand on a watch is actually a chronograph. I'm going to hit the plunger over here. And as you can see, the chronograph starts moving. The subdial with the red on it, if I let the chronograph move, will move a little bit with every rotation. That's how you track how long the chronograph has been running. So let's say I'm timing a boat and how long it takes to get from one point on the horizon to the next. I could use this to make that calculation. So I'm going to stop it now, okay? So now the chronograph is stopped and it's stopped tracking the chronograph. I move down to the bottom once I've made my calculations and I'm ready to do another, and I hit the reset button. Watch the red hand, blink and you'll miss it. Very cool, right? And that's all while the functionality of the watch, time and date, never stops working. Never stops working. So this is my Sternglass Hamburg Chrono. That's my second watch there. Well, the second one I'm showing you anyway. Third watch is a doozy. A lot of you guys like this watch when I wear it. This is the Zarek Soliscope 2. This is a wild fucking watch here. A lot of people look at this and the first question is, how the fuck do you read the time on that? Well, you don't. I do. It's actually easy when you learn the trick. I'm not going to explain the trick now because, you know, fuck that. But this is a mechanical watch. I am going to take this one off the roll because I want to show you the back of it. It's the only watch that I have right now that's mechanical and has an open case design on the back. This is all sapphire glass. That red stripe you see on the side is anodized in aluminum insert, and it's all stainless steel. This is a fucking crazy watch. A lot of people won't want this to be one of their first watches, but for me, this watch sang to me. I had to have it, and it's really not that expensive either. I don't want to really go into how much they cost because it actually fluctuates. They go up and down, but they're in the hundreds of dollars. Here's the Zarek off the little pillow, and here's the back of it, right? You can see that thing free floating on the back. That is the automatic winding mechanism. So when you swing your wrist as you're wearing the Zarek, that slowly winds the mainspring. You can see I can really get it going with some movement there. That slowly but surely winds the mainspring at the mainspring, which is the main power driver of this mechanical watch, and keeps it wound as long as you're wearing it forever. It's got a date functionality. It's very kind of hard to see. It's a very small date, but you can see the little circle there on the left kind of inner dial. That is the date. The hour is in the center, and the minutes are in the kind of rings around it. On the right is a 24-hour calendar, so it points to what time of day. Obviously, I haven't worn this bad boy in a couple of days, so it's not set. So the time is not right now, I don't think. Actually, it might be. No, it isn't. That's okay. She wound down. That's okay. That's the Xeric. We're almost at the end here. Almost at the end. Got 2 more watches to show you, and then I gotta end this because I got shit to fucking do. All right. Oh man, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, that's what's going on. Ay, Dios mío. Okay, there we go. Xeric back on her pillow. Xeric is almost too big for this case, but she just fits. Okay, I'm going to show you this one next. This is my beater watch. If you're a watch guy, you want to have a watch that you can wear if you are going in water. You don't care about it really getting destroyed. But a lot of people have really cool watches anyway. This is a very cool watch. This is my beater watch, a $25 Casio databank. This is basically like it's the modern version of the watch that Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future. It's got a calendar and day date functionality, and it's got time, and it's got a stopwatch, and it's got an alarm, and it's got a calculator function on it. The Casio day date, a classic, and if it gets busted, I'm out $25 in a dream, you know. Whatever. Great little beater watch. I love digital watches too. I grew up wearing digital watches in the 80s and the 90s, so I kind of collect both. And with that being said, our final watch is going to be a digital watch. I just got this watch back from the jeweler who did a bracelet swap for me. It's a little tough to swap the bracelet out on, but luckily it's pretty cheap to get that done at a jeweler. I got to put on a nice black NATO strap so that I can wear it anytime I want. This is the Autodromo Group C chronograph. This is not what it looks like. I know a lot of you are probably going like, oh, that's a fucking Cracker Jack prize. It kind of looks like that. This is one of my heaviest watches. This is a solid lump of stainless steel with a sapphire crystal and a double quartz battery. This will survive the fucking nuclear apocalypse, okay? I could throw this thing off a cliff and go get it and it'd still be keeping time. I got this color because it reminds me of the 80s and early 90s when this type of watch was popular. This is a deceptive watch because people look at this on your wrist and they think it's like a $10 Cracker Jack prize, but it's really a finely made, super tough, super resilient, super well-designed chronograph with a beautiful luminosity to it at night. It's very easy to read at night. It's very accurate. Digital clocks like this, quartz movements and quartz digitals, are far more accurate than any other watch that I showed you here. Okay, my Stern glasses will lose probably on average like a second to 2 seconds a week. If I keep them wound and reading time. This loses a fraction of a second every fucking like 10 years or something. They're fucking insanely accurate. And so there you go. That's my whole ass watch collection. Those are all my watches that I own now. Not quite filling my 6 watch box, but around Christmas I'm going to get another watch. I haven't decided what yet for myself. That'll be my Christmas present. There you go. That's my little fucking nerdy hobby for you in a nutshell. Where it is and what it looks like now. Watch brand is it? It's an Autodromo is the brand. It's called Group C. They have a Group A and Group B. Their Group A and B are both mechanical watches, chronographs, and day dates. And then their Group C is a whole line of digital watches. I may end up getting a second Group C. There is a black and yellow one that is fucking beautiful. Nope, no real interest in pocket watches for me. The Halograph 2 from Xeric was singing to you. That's a fucking pretty watch, bro. Are you gonna get it? You getting the Halograph, bro? You jumping in the deep end with both fucking feet? Makes you want to get more watches. I miss mine. Yeah, I mean it like if you're a micro brand guy like me, it is like way cheaper than a hobby like Warhammer or something. Like I would spend way more on Warhammer getting into it than I've spent on these watches. You're getting it, dude? Ooh, baby. You gotta DM me on fucking Discord or something with a picture of the one you're getting, dude, because I wanna see that shit, bro. I wanna see which one you picked out. The halographs are fucking beautiful though, bro. Getting it for my birthday. I want the limited edition navy blue. It's got a brown strap, which I'm gonna change to a black one. All right, cool. Well, I'll go take a look at it then, because I'm looking at a couple Xerics myself, not a halograph. I'm looking at a scrambler over there, and like a couple of their more expensive ones maybe for Christmas. I don't know how deep I want to go into Xeric, man. I feel like I'm just gonna end up owning a lot of Xerics at some point in my life. But yeah, I'm looking at a couple Xerics, so I'll go find it. I'm gonna smoke this and then we're done, okay? I've got a little under an hour to get my shit together. I'm gonna fucking smoke this and this is over. So you guys Q&A me, ask me questions. Oh yeah, Pranav, dude, they're fucking beautiful, bro. But I love all kinds of fucking micro brand watches, dude. Damn right, as I signed on, I know. I've been going for fucking 150 minutes and change now. It's about to be a fucking feature-length film up in this bitch. Paul, you still vape? No, not really. I smoke. Have you ever had to install a window unit? Yes. I've had to help people do it a couple of times and had a monkey with one of my own fucking pad a couple of times. Yes, it sucks. What's your opinion on how drugs are regulated in the U.S.? Horrible. The people that invented what we call the drug war here in the United States, it was during the Nixon administration. I think it was H.R. Haldeman who just admitted, like, the drug war was a way for us to be morally superior while we went after blacks and hippies. It just doesn't work. Do you have any Mexican friends in your childhood? Yes. I grew up with a lot of Hispanic friends. Most of my friends were Hispanic growing up at a certain point. Like, by the time I got to like 6th grade, 7th grade, most of my friend group was not white. I had a couple of white friends. I had 5 or 6 Mexican friends. I had a couple of Asian friends. I had a black friend. And there were hardly any black folk where I grew up, so it's a pretty rainbow coalition. My son threw a Matchbox car through my window downstairs and destroyed it, installed a new window, and it was super expensive, bro. On these modern houses with the dual panes shit, dude, those windows are fucking like $800-900. Last time I had to fuck with it. If you got to do a whole fucking new window and you got no insurance claim on it, bro. Back in the day, they wanted to jab you for $700, $800, $900. You ever watch Twin Peaks? Yes. Watched everything up through about like a quarter of the way through Twin Peaks: The Return, and I tapped out. I was like, I can't hang. $850 just for one glass pane. Oh, I know, dude. Trust me, I know. It's a fucking nightmare, bro. Do you draw or sketch in your free time? No, I do not. I couldn't draw a stick figure. I'm not talented that way. I don't like have the visual artist kind of mind. Firewalk with me in LA in the theater last night. Cool. I bet that was dope. I'd love to see like Firewalk with me on the big screen in its original print. Watch any good shows recently you'd recommend? Yeah, we're watching the Chinese 3-Body show. That's what it's called, 3-Body. Not to be confused with the Netflix 3-Body Problem series, which was also pretty good, but this Chinese one is on a whole different fucking level so far. So I definitely recommend, if you like the 3-Body Problem, you check that one out, because it's way better, in my opinion, way more thorough than the American version is. The last scene in Twin Peaks: The Return is the most haunting thing I've ever seen. I didn't get there. Yo, on Discord, I'm going to send you my cell phone number if you're cool with that. Oh, yeah. I'll send mine back. I don't mind you having it, Pranav. We've exchanged numbers before, so I'll give you my number. Windows are just sand. Don't know why so much. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses because I do think they're overpriced. You are right, it's just silica, but it's silica that's processed in a very particular way at a very high purity to be very tough and also minorly sun reflective. A lot of windows are now dual pane, so you're not talking about one pane of glass, you're talking about two, sometimes even three. There are triple pane windows now. That might be what Pranav had broken, I don't know. But those are bought, you have a dual pane or a triple pane setup because you're talking about like sealing the cool air in your house and the hot air out, and vice versa. Keeping the warm air in the winter, keeping the cold air out. So like a triple pane window is going to be the most efficient window, especially when installed properly and sealed properly, that you could put on your house in terms of keeping your air cool inside even during the hot season, and vice versa. I just went through the Three Body Show. I'd also say watch Succession. We're actually having kind of fun watching AGT because we're waiting to see Goat versus Fish on that. But we're actually having kind of fun watching that. It's gut bucket, fucking turn your brain off TV, but whatever. Not everything's got to be intellectual, right?
Fake as fuck.
Fake as fuck, contrived as fuck. It's bullshit, but whatever. It's fun bullshit. If you haven't seen it, see The Sopranos, watch The Wire. What are some other good shows we watched?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. I liked that, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we don't watch a ton of shows, but we do watch shows. Those are the ones we've watched recently, so there you go.
There's some worthwhile seasons of American Horror Story, not all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch maybe the whole AHS, but if you haven't seen any of the AHS stuff, the original season, the Freaks season, the Asylum season, the Roanoke season, I think all of those are maybe like the Cult season, maybe. It's a little funky, but like I wouldn't watch any of the other ones really, but that's based on taste. You might like them all. But yeah, those earlier seasons of AHS are some of the best TV ever, bro. Coven is best. Nah.
I just didn't like Coven.
Coven was too, it was too, I hate to say it, it was too like hardcore female memed for me. I can see why women like it.
And then you didn't like some other later seasons that heavily referenced Coven.
Oh my god,
Like
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Apocalypse was ruined because they had to bring back a bunch of Coven bullshit into it. It was like, oh no. And you know what they brought back that pissed me off the most? Gabourey can't act her way out of the paper bag that she ordered her fucking fast food in Bay, dude. Maybe she was good in fucking Precious or whatever. I saw it one time and I was not blown away by that movie. It was aight. But in that fucking, dude, in Coven, Gabourey Bay is awful, bro. And the fucking hammy way they brought her back in Apocalypse, I was like, well, it's over.
And she was in Hotel too, right?
Yep. They had her ass pop up as a ghost or something in Hotel. I can't even fucking do it, bro. I can't even do it. But you want to talk about some of those earlier seasons? Season 1, just American Horror Story. I think it's like Murder House or whatever. That season is one of my favorites. The Freak Show one is great. American Horror Story Asylum is fucking amazing. That's the season that made me fall in love with what's her name?
Jessica Lange.
Well, her too.
Oh, the fuck is her
Main lady. You know, I know I'm brain farting too. But she's fucking wonderful. And also, what's the dude's name too? The blonde guy that's in a bunch of seasons.
So Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
And
Sarah Paulson. Yes, yes, yes. Jessica Lange. Oh my God, so wonderful in all of those. Maybe with the exception of fucking, they did her dirty in fucking Coven, but whatever.
She was still really good in it though.
She was.
Francis Conroy has some great characters in it too.
You're right. Weird guy. Kind of weird looking dude or whatever.
No, I'm talking about the woman Francis Conroy that plays the old maid and stuff.
Yeah. Who's that weird looking guy? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's a character actor and he's in a few seasons. He's great too. No, you're not weird for thinking Jessica Lange is hot, dude. She's a gilf.
What's his fucking name, man?
It's okay. It doesn't matter. Can he call anyone weird looking to be fair? Who, me? Bro, I'm weird as fuck. That doesn't mean I can't point out other weird shit, right? Want to see a documentary that will raise a hair on the back of your head? See the most evil documentary? Okay. Jessica Lange is basically the bad bitch of the coven. How'd they do her dirty? I don't know, man, because I just felt like there wasn't enough of her and there was too much Gabourey Sidibe and too much of the, like, fucking 20-something millennial witches I can't evening their way through the fucking magic verse. Dennis O'Hare. Sorry, it just didn't hit for me. I get why women like it. It was very, like, girl-coded or whatever the fuck. You had the whole fucking Stevie Nicks thing, which was weird as fuck, but I guess people liked her.
The problem with Coven 2 is it made every death worthless because they could just bring everyone back.
Exactly. Coven was the series that started, not because like the ghost thing was established, but Coven was where it really started to be like nobody that dies is really dead.
Yeah.
Gabourey Sidibe's fat ass might have been completely killed right in front of your eyes, but 6 episodes later, she's back. She didn't really die. Nobody really dies. Everybody's a fucking... I mean, it's a major plot point of Coven.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates's character is like that personified.
Yeah.
They bring her back from the dead. She's an old fucking witch that never died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It started that, and that ruined it. Because, dude, you remember how I laughed like an ape when fucking Gabourey Sidibe showed up in fucking Apocalypse?
Yeah.
She just cut such a weird countenance, and I was like, no way she's fucking back again. Yep.
The thing with Apocalypse is they went hardcore on bringing every goddamn person
Oh,
back
everything.
from the dead.
No death meant anything.
Yeah.
Let's just erase everything you know, because it was all bullshit. Everybody's alive. Nobody can really die. She's immortal because she was cursed. Then why is Gabourey Sidibe immortal? Why is fucking every other character in that show that died, why are they all back? They subverted your expectations. That's not always a good thing, though. When I go to a movie that's a badass action movie, I don't expect a 45-minute scene where the dude poops his pants and cries about it. That would subvert my expectations, but not in a good way. I don't think it would make a very watchable or fun film.
Look, the problem with bringing every single person back from the dead is like 0 deaths are meaningful.
Yeah. Bringing the fucking like weirdo chick that can't act who weighs 400 pounds back from the dead for the 3rd time in a fucking new season was not cool. It wasn't a way to subvert my expectations in a way that made me want something different. It was just a big speed bump in the middle of the show where the fat chick that can't act is back again being saucy and sassy. Y'all thought I was dead, but I'm back, bitches. Give me a break, bro. That's not like fucking good subversion of expectation. There's good and bad, right? Like a movie that subverted my expectations that I think is good, right? I showed up to watch a different movie, Mandy, right? I showed up with a different movie in my head, and that movie was something else. Another movie that's like that, Memento, right? You think you might know kind of what that movie's about when you've seen the first 10 minutes, but you've got no fucking clue, right? The Big Lebowski is like a detective movie. You don't know where that's going. There's no way you guess it if you don't know shit about it. It's a mystery. It subverts your expectations. It turns the trope on its head, right? That's all good. But the aforementioned dumping pants 45-minute scene where a guy just cries on the toilet because he pooped himself, that would not be welcome in any action movie or really any movie at all. I despise the subverted expectations angle for justifying terrible film. I know, it's...
Yeah, a twist doesn't magically make it better.
Right, it's like the trees are alive. That was the twist in The Happening. It subverted my expectations. I did not see that coming. Guess what? It was horrible. Another twist that was horrible. Signs, yeah, the aliens are allergic to water on a planet that's 78% water, and they come down naked. What is that? I don't know what that is, but that's a dumb fucking subversion of my expectations. for an alien invasion film. You know what I mean? So there's good and there's bad. There's shitty filmmaking and bad twists, and there's good filmmaking and good twists. If a dude crying because he shit himself feeds the story, then it's good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Gabourey Sidibe coming back to snip, snap, and roll her neck and say, "I'm back again, bitches," didn't add or subtract really anything from that show. It wasn't like a, "oh yeah" moment for me like it was for some of y'all, because it just was like, what? Nah.
What about Hotel? How do you feel about Hotel?
Hotel was good, but it had some moments that were a little cheese. Evan Peters and Gaga carried that season for me, 100%, almost 100%. There were some other good folk, but without Evan Peters and Gaga anchoring that shit, that's not even a show.
Yeah.
And that's not true of a lot of the other shows.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing about Roanoke. Love that season. It might be my favorite, but if you don't have Kathy Bates, that's not even a season.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who else was in it. It was all her, which you can't really say that about season 1, season 2. Those are like, you need everybody in there. And if you replaced anybody, it changes the whole tone and timbre. That's not true of Roanoke. That's not true of Hotel, right? 2 or 3 people did the heavy lifting on Hotel. So I enjoyed it, but I think it was a sign of the decline to come.
And that's another, like, example of, like, that rape scene was just, like, pointlessly gruesome for no real
I mean,
reason.
I didn't have a problem with it, but I agree with you. It was like it came out of nowhere. It didn't need to be like that.
Yeah.
And it was obviously to like add emotional weight and to trigger people and shock people into talking about it, but it didn't feed the story at all. And that was a sign of things to come, I think, because once Cult or whatever it was came out, it was like the cracks be showing. Once again, Evan Peters carried that whole show. All the people that came back were really replaceable. Sarah Paulson was in it and she was okay, but she didn't get to be what she could have been.
Yeah.
Evan Peters was the shining thing in that, and then after that, I think it was, I might be getting it out of, but Apocalypse was just like gobbledygook, and then we tried watching Summer Camp.
Oh yeah, the 1984.
Yeah, 84 one.
That was another one where death meant nothing.
Yeah, it was like Richard Ramirez dies 3 times, and it's just like, I'm back. It's like, okay, whatever you are, you're back. Just garbage. Gabourey Sidibe sounds like Pig Latin. It kind of does. It's not her name that makes her shitty, though. It's her lack of ability.
It's not even that she's fat either. Like that.
No, it doesn't help, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
The fact that she's fat and can't act makes her a bigger target on screen.
Yeah.
But it's really that she can't act. If it was John Candy that said, "I'm back, bitches," I would have thrown my flabby arms in the air and hooted and hollered. You know, if it was a good character with good lines and a good arc, I would have fucking been happy to see her back for the 5th time. But when she popped up in a season that was about the end of the world, where most everybody is dead except for a few enclaves of witches and warlocks and shit, I was like, nah, stop yapping, stop watching. Skibbity scroll, bitch. I'm going to finish this and then I'm done. I should have been done a minute ago, but I got to go. Got shit to do today, man. I got fucking many different people to see about many different ducks. They're just some salty people, man, that just really want to ruin the vibe, man. I'm going to finish this. It's about 3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe. Moron's gonna moron. You know how it is, Pranav. It's a full-time job. Are you Jesus Christ Superstar? Jesus Christ Superstar. Do you think you're what you say you are? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. No. A lot of streams got a good vibe. Sometimes they get a little mad, sometimes they get a little heated, but most of the time it's just chilling, man. Life's too short to do anything but chill, really. When you can, at least. And I can. I just have to kind of do it like this sometimes. This is what you do all day? No. I do these once or twice a day, but it's part of my broader job. I'm a podcaster, so I'm going to go in about half an hour. I'm going to record 2 shows that are going to be coming out in the future for our patrons. Tomorrow I'm going to do a big, giant, long 6 or 7 hour show. That's how I make the bread. Chillin' gets boring. You can skibbity scroll. The same way you came in is the way you get out. If you're bored, bro, I ain't got you chained to the radiator, homeboy. The same way you skibbity scrolled in, you can skibbity scroll out. There's somebody else doing something fun. Get out if you don't like it. Bro, you got nothing but choice anymore. If you have anything, you got choice. Paul, did you like the movie Tommy? Not that much. It's kind of lame, but it's okay. The music is great. I don't think Indie Tech was trying to be mean. I don't know. I don't think he was trying to be mean either. I just think he was trying to be contrarian for no reason. It's like, if the problem is I'm bored with what I'm looking at on my screen, you got more chance than any time in human history to skibbity scroll away and find something you like. Are you really trying to pull the I ham sofa king we Todd did on me, dude? Do you think I'm 10? That's a tough one, bro. That's tough. That's kind of like, man, I'm kind of sad for you, bro. Bro, at least have the respect to meet me where I am, man. So fucking Weetah did. Bro, I remember 2001 too. What's next? You gonna tell me your real name is Seymour Butts? Mike Hunt? You're gonna tell me your name is Mike Hunt? Oh! I mean, fuck, bro. Do I look like I'm a kid sitting here or something? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.